Chapter 1586. Attack. Attack immediately and kill this brat. Hearing these words, Wuan roared. He wanted the 4 deputy leaders to attack at the same time and kill Yi Fuqian. Because as Xia Ping said these words, the aura on his body actually rose steadily. His strength was actually increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye, continuously becoming stronger. It could be imagined that this brat was clearly using battle to nurture battle, using them as stepping stones to sharpen his martial arts. If this continued, they would not be able to be Xia Ping's opponent. They had to take advantage of the fact that this brat's aura had not reached its peak state to eliminate him completely. Die. Take my sword, Soaring Dragon 9-style sword. A deputy leader roared angrily. He pulled out a 3 feet long sword and slashed out. Sword chi crisscrossed, splitting the heavens and earth. It was as if a flying dragon had soared into the sky and let out a roar. In the dark starry sky, this sword chi was like a dragon, containing the might of a dragon, causing people to tremble in fear. It was as if it wanted to swallow an entire planet, its ferocity matchless. This was a sword divine ability created by a grandmaster of the sword. He had once used this sword technique to chop down a flying dragon with a single strike. Its power was boundless and the sword chi was swift and fierce, indestructible. Although the other party had not fully displayed this sword technique, it still contained a trace of the might of a dragon. Wind Thunder Fan. Another deputy leader also attacked. A purple fan that was completely jade-like appeared in his hand. There were densely packed rune formations engraved on it. This was a high-grade spirit weapon, Wind Thunder Fan. He lightly fanned and a heaven and earth formation appeared. There was wind and thunder energy in the depths of the formation, constantly entangling together, turning into a wind and thunder dragon. The dragon formed by the wind and thunder energy roared and pounced towards Xia Ping. The surrounding thunder crackled, resounding through the void, containing an extremely strong destructive power. Along the way, huge meteors were blasted into smithereens. They couldn't stop this force at all, not even for a second. 5 Poison Flag. Another deputy leader took action, bringing out a flag that was completely black, as if it was formed from venom. There seemed to be poisonous scorpions, snakes, insects, centipedes, jellyfishes, and other peerless poisonous mists appearing inside. This was a high-grade spirit artifact, a demonic path spirit artifact. It was forged by absorbing 5 kinds of strange poisons in the world and smelting countless rare materials. Its power was tyrannical. In the past, when this demonic artifact moved, the war flag would flutter even though there was no wind. It would immediately emit a monstrous poisonous gas that covered tens of thousands of kilometers. Wherever the poisonous gas went, people and animals would die. Crash, the deputy leader channeled his dermic powers. With a ferocious look on his face, he activated the 5 poison flag. Wisps of poison chi emerged from his body, forming poison chi talismans that merged with the void and turned into a black fog. In the blink of an eye, the black mist shrouded Xia Ping completely. Fire Lion Spear. The last deputy leader roared. He held a red spear in his hand, and his hair was disheveled. He was like a mad lion, and his aura was like a rainbow as he attacked with his spear. Immediately, in the depths of the void, endless flames gathered and transformed into a fire lion. It roared at the sky and produced a terrifying sound wave that spread at a speed visible to the naked eye. This attack did not only contain the power of flames, but it also contained the power of vibrations. Its destructive power was extremely terrifying. Many meteorites that came into contact with it were immediately shattered into dust and no longer existed. Die. Wuan did not want to be outdone. Although he had been injured by Xia Ping, it was not a fatal injury. He still had the ability to fight Xia Ping. He punched out fiercely. The light from his fist shot out in all directions like a divine light, piercing through the void. The power of this punch was actually 30% stronger than before. Its power was boundless. Immediately the entire void shook, the stars shook, and the dermic powers twisted, forming a torrent. A firefly dares to compete with the moon? Xia Ping was neither happy nor sad. It was as if he was not facing 5 powerhouses of the returning truth realm, but 5 ordinary warriors. He performed a spell with both hands and circulated his dermic powers. Suddenly, dark golden runes appeared in the depths of the void, like golden crows from hell. They swam in the void and quickly gathered together, forming a huge furnace. Bloodline Mystic Ability, Furnace of Hell. The furnace was densely covered with dark golden runes. There were countless characters of hell on it, as if it was a record of the history of hell. It emitted a majestic, ancient, and noble aura. These characters of hell even swam around the furnace like evil dragons from hell. They twisted and writhed as if they were alive, and filled with the aura of hell. Boom. In the blink of an eye, the 5 powerhouses of the returning truth realm attacked at the same time. Their power instantly bombarded the furnace of hell and was instantly swallowed up by it. It was like a stone falling into the sea. There was only a slight ripple, and then it disappeared without a sound. At the same time, the furnace of hell exploded with the power of flames and vibrations, causing ripples to appear in the void. This destructive power swept in all directions, and Wu Wen and the others were sent flying, coughing up blood on the spot. Impossible. What kind of mystic ability is this? A mere Golden Elixir Realm Jr. can actually withstand the combined attack of 5 powerhouses of the returning Truth Realm. Even a sacred mystic ability can't do this. Who are you? Who are you? A deputy leader coughed up blood and couldn't help but shout, extremely shocked. He couldn't accept this truth. 5 powerhouses of the returning Truth Realm joined forces and still couldn't kill this junior. This situation was simply unimaginable. Even if he was beaten to death, he would never have thought that such a thing would actually happen. Wu Wen and the others were inexplicably shocked and couldn't recover for a long time. Who am I? Do you think you have the right to know? Even the god of the underworld doesn't have the right. Xia Ping's body flickered and a pair of hell crow wings appeared on his back. In an instant he arrived in front of the deputy leader and punched out. Instantly, the stars trembled, and the terrifying power of hell gathered in the center of his fist. Countless characters of hell swam, twisted, and seemed to be absorbing the power of hell from the void, and communicating with the plane of hell. No, 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 spare me, spare my dog life. I am willing to be your dog, your dog. The deputy leader screamed in terror. He felt that he was on the verge of death, and his entire body's aura was locked down. Facing this punch that seemed to come from the god of hell, he couldn't block it at all. He tried to beg for mercy. He was a powerhouse of the returning truth realm, and his future was limitless. He had a long life and maybe in the future he would have a chance to peek at the sage realm. He didn't want to die so tragically. It's too late. Xia Ping's voice sounded out, ethereal and penetrated people's hearts, like the god of hell's decree. Chapter 1588. Summoning Wind and Rain Array? I didn't expect you to have such a trump card. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. Even though he was extremely confident, he could feel the threat of this array. If they fought on the planet at this time, it was not impossible to know how many areas would be destroyed. It was not impossible for the entire planet to be blown up. It had to be said that the power of this array was really powerful. It could communicate with the dimensional space and summon the first wood evil water and the 8th metal gang wind. These two forces were the nemesis of many warriors. In fact, this was also the ability of the returning nature realm cultivators. After condensing the spirit, they could perceive the endless dimensional space, absorb the huge energy of the dimensional space and take it as their own. And the more powerful the spirit of the cultivator, the more terrifying they could perceive. The deeper the dimensional space, the more dimensional energy they could mobilize. But do you think you can kill me like this? Today I will tell you how powerless your resistance is and how incompetent you are. Xia Ping sneered. He took out a magic weapon from his body, the sacred weapon Mountain River Pearl. Boom. He operated his magic power, infused it and threw the pearl out. Immediately, a huge scroll emerged, spanning across the void, covering a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers. This scroll contained 100,000 mountains, millions of rivers, countless valleys, plains, ravines, deserts and so on. It was as if a world had been projected, and everywhere was filled with the aura of the world. Every trace on it seemed to be a mark of the Tao, confirming the void, containing an extremely powerful aura. This was the array inside the Mountain River Pearl, Mountain River Map. What magic weapon is this? Wu Wen and the others also sensed the magical treasure that Xia Ping had tossed out. They were indescribably shocked. They could sense that the scroll contained an endless amount of power. It was all-encompassing, as though an entire plane of existence was bombarding down upon them. This kind of power was not comparable to a spiritual weapon at all. It was at least a sacred weapon. Damn, it's impossible. How can this kid have a magic weapon of this level? A sacred weapon. A Gold Core Jr. also has a sacred weapon. It's too exaggerated. It's too much. A deputy leader couldn't believe his eyes. He was so jealous that his intestines were green. He had lived for so long, but he had not even seen a shadow of a sacred weapon. But now, a Golden Core Jr. had obtained a sacred weapon. Why was this world so unfair? While at this moment the Mountain River Map unfolded, instantly covering the void of tens of thousands of kilometers, covering everything, and suddenly wrapping up the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gale. It produced a powerful devouring power and swallowed the two powers in an instant, taking them for its own. And the aura of the pearl of mountains and rivers was also increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Everywhere was filled with the aura of the first wood evil water and the eighth metal astral wind. It seemed that these two forces not only did not harm the pearl of mountains and rivers, but were also increasing its strength and healing its injuries. Even in the internal space of the mountain river pearl, thanks to the energy of the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gang wind, the continents were rapidly increasing in size, the rivers were widening, the oceans were surging, and the density of the spiritual qi had doubled. Xiaoping could also feel that the beat of mountains and rivers seemed to be constantly repairing the core formation. Obviously, the two pure energies of the first wood evil water and the eighth metal astral wind had a great effect on repairing the beat of mountains and rivers. Fuck me, this bastard is actually swallowing our first wood evil water and eighth metal astral wind to increase the power of his magic weapon. What kind of magic treasure is it? It can actually devour the power of the heavenly tribulation like the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gale. Isn't it afraid of eating too much? This is a magic treasure that seems to be a sacred weapon. It's not impossible for it to devour these two powers. We can't continue activating the wind and rain summoning array. If this continues, we'll be helping the enemy to become stronger. Run. We can't kill this kid now. We've already delayed for too long. Maybe the Qinghuan sect's elder is on the way. We can't continue to delay. Wu Wen and the others' faces were as black as charcoal. Not only did their trump card have no effect on this kid, but it also strengthened the enemy. It was too despicable. They quickly removed the wind and rain summoning array, closed the black hole in the dimensional space, and stopped the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gale to prevent the enemy from strengthening. To be honest, even if they died, they couldn't let this bastard have it easy. In the distance, many angels saw this scene and their eyes lit up. Very good, this is a great opportunity. The leader of the angels shouted angrily, immediately activate the angel purification array and capture all these sinners in one fell swoop. We'll completely eradicate them and return the universe to a world of boundless light. He saw the flaws of Xiaoping and the red-scarf bandits. This was the moment when they were the least vigilant. One of them had victory in his grasp and wanted to chase after the enemy, while the other wanted to flee. Without a doubt, none of them would have imagined that there would be people lying in ambush behind them. This was the best chance for them to make their move. Kill. The many angels shouted angrily. They spread out in the surroundings and activated the angel purification array. They stood on different nodes of the array and chanted angelic hymns. Their bodies emitted a holy white light that pierced through the void. It was as if all the darkness in the starry sky had been dispersed, transforming into a world of pure white light. The white wings on their bodies spread out, and each feather contained holy energy. They were like the purest and flawless existences in this world, not allowing any evil to exist. With the chanting of these angels, the array formation that had been lying in ambush in the void of the universe immediately rose. The meteorites hidden in the depths of the void turned into the array formation nodes, shooting out beams of white light that intertwined with each other, forming a profound and complicated array formation. In an instant, a tyrannical angelic energy descended from the sky and enveloped Xiaoping, Wu Wen, and the other red-scarfed bandits. The entire world turned into a white world. It was extremely dazzling. Who is it? Which bastard is sneaking an attack? Wu Wen and the others were shocked and furious. They never expected that someone would sneak an attack at this moment. Furthermore, it was aimed at their weakest moment. They could feel how terrifying this array was. The white light seemed to be able to corrode everything. When it shone on their bodies, they felt like they were about to be burned and turned into ashes. Foolish humans, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. You didn't expect this, did you? Sinners like you should be exterminated. All of you can go to hell. A holy voice rang out in all directions. Chapter 1589. Bang Bang Bang. The first to suffer were the thousands of Red Scarf pirates' battleships and a space fortress. They were instantly pierced by the white light. The Red Scarf pirates inside let out miserable screams as their bodies evaporated under the white light. It was as if they had ascended to heaven. In just a short moment, these ordinary Red Scarf thieves were all dead. Not a single one was left. No, no, no. Wu Wen and the others screamed in horror. Seeing their years of hard work destroyed, they hated these angels to the extreme. They stared at them with their eyes wide open and tried to resist. But it was too late. The huge angel held the scepter and tapped it lightly. Countless rays of white light descended and turned into a rain of light that covered the starry sky. Ah! Wuan and the others let out miserable screams. In an instant, their bodies were blasted into minced meat and their primordial spirits were destroyed. They were clearly dead. The dignified leader of the Red Scarf Pirates and many of the higher-ups had committed all kinds of crimes. They had been free and unfettered for thousands of years, evading the pursuit of countless people. They didn't expect to die here. They were killed on the spot. At this moment, Xiaoping stood in place and activated the North Protective Technique. Countless layers of energy shields appeared on his body and kept flowing. The surrounding white light tried to corrode but was blocked. He seemed to be an existence independent of this white world, unique. Angels? Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back and looked curiously at the dozens of angels that suddenly appeared. He said, "Thank you for coming from afar to help us eliminate these interstellar pirates. I'm very grateful." This was the second time he saw angels. After all, he had the Mountain River Pearl and the girl from the angel race. However, seeing so many angels at once gave him a great sense of novelty. Moreover, he had cultivated the angels him before and was a little familiar with the power of angels. Unfortunately, this technique was incomplete and only allowed him to learn a little. "Thank?" An angel sneered. "Don't be too grateful because you will die here today, just like those Red Scarf Pirates." His face revealed a sinister and murderous expression. "Want to kill me? I don't think I have any enmity with you angels. This is the first time we met. Why do you want to kill me?" Xiaoping raised his eyebrows and looked at the group of angels. "I can't kill you without enmity? Stupid humans, do I need a reason to kill you?" The other angel's eyes were filled with disdain as he sneered, "It wouldn't be a pity no matter how many of you lowly and filthy humans die. It's no different from stepping on ants." He looked at Xiaoping with an emotionless gaze. "From what you've said, it seems there's nothing to talk about?" Xiaoping said lightly. "Talk my ass. What qualifications does a puny human have to talk to us?" An angel scolded, "I feel disgusted living in the same universe as lowly humans like you. Cut the crap. Kill this human. I can sense a powerful aura rushing over from afar. It might be the reinforcements from the Jianghu faction. This fellow is probably stalling for time. Despicable humans indeed. You're about to die, yet you're still trying to buy time. Kill his soul in an instant but don't harm his body. I want to refine this body into a powerful battle puppet. He will be enslaved by the angel race for the rest of his life. Don't worry, Captain. We're all too familiar with this sort of thing. Under the angelic purification array, no matter how powerful that bastard is, he won't be able to escape death. Just wait for the show. Be completely purified, sinful human." The many angels laughed coldly, and their eyes shone with a savage light. They looked at Xiaoping as if they were looking at a dead person. As soon as they finished speaking, they didn't waste any more words with Xiaoping. They immediately acted and activated the angelic purification array, raising the might of the array to the extreme. Boom. Immediately within the range of the array, streams of white light blasted over. They interweaved together as if wanting to purify all the impure existences in this world. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He could sense how terrifying this white energy was. It was extremely exclusive, corrosive, and highly condensed. Just by staying in this array, he felt as if his soul was about to be purified and turned into nothingness. The magic power that permeated the surroundings was turned into nothingness under this white light. It was rapidly corroded and emitted sizzling sounds as if he was bathing in sulfuric acid. This is the energy of the angel race? It's really powerful. A gleam flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. He finally understood why the angel race was so famous in the Western cosmos. They were known as a race of gods. Just this special characteristic of power was enough to kill all low-level races. They could be said to be invincible among those of the same level. He stood where he was and didn't move. He quietly comprehended this pure white energy. Damn it, what kind of protective technique did this guy cultivate? Even the angelic purification array's purification light can't kill him. He's even blocked it? The many angels couldn't believe it. They had thought that the purification light alone would be enough to kill this damned human. They didn't expect him to be unharmed. Use the sound of destruction immediately and kill him. The leader of the angels made a prompt decision. He decided to activate the deepest level of the array's power and instantly destroy this human. The many angels nodded and activated their angelic power to activate the array. Boom. In an instant the array was activated. Indistinctly, endless white energy gathered to form a war horn. Densely packed angelic runes were engraved on it. They appeared holy and pure and contained terrifying power. Buzz, buzz! Immediately the angels activated this war horn, emitting a terrifying sound wave energy. With the war horn as the center, a circle of destructive sound waves spread out, covering tens of thousands of kilometers. Along the way, meteorites were destroyed one after another. They were instantly destroyed and turned into ashes. Under the destruction of such sound waves, it had the power to destroy the world. What a strong destructive power! Xiaoping was shocked. He felt that even Dark North's protective technique couldn't resist such destructive power. The 108 layers of energy shields on his body collapsed inch by inch. They penetrated the energy layers and were about to invade his body. This kind of array was also extremely powerful. It condensed the energy of dozens of angels. When it broke out in an instant, this destructive power was unparalleled. Even the laser cannon couldn't compare. Dumbo, let's do it. Xiaoping moved his mind and said to Gaia Dumbo to let her personally destroy the array. Yes, brother. With a whoosh, Dumbo jumped out of the mountain river pearl space in an instant. Her small body contained the power of a star. Her physique was tyrannical and unparalleled. Even the nucleus was not comparable. Chapter 1590. Damn it, why is there another person? The sound of annihilation has no effect on her. Where did she come from? When Dumbo appeared, all the angels were shocked. They didn't expect that someone would suddenly appear at this time. Even their sound of annihilation had no effect on this little girl. They instinctively felt that this little girl emitted a great threat, and their hair stood on end. You dare to hurt my brother? Go to hell. Dumbo was very angry. Rumble, she punched out, and the terrible energy of the void of the universe gathered in her fist, forming a killing move. All kinds of chaotic energy condensed into a powerful Tao diagram. In the depths of this Tao diagram, there were billions of creatures that came from ancient times. They were like the ancestors of the ancient times, constantly offering sacrifices, singing, praising their ancestors and worshipping the gods. An eternal will was born from this fist, causing the void to tremble. It was transmitted to the depths of each angel's soul, and in an instant they received an endless baptism. It was as if in an instant, they had experienced hundreds of thousands of years or even millions of years. They had experienced the vicissitudes of the birth, growth and destruction of the stars. How could a mere angel withstand such a baptism of time? It was as if they had experienced countless reincarnations, and their memories were washed away. In the end, they didn't even know who they were. Ah! One by one, the angels let out mournful screams. This was a hysterical sound, as if their souls were being obliterated. Their bodies were also collapsing inch by inch. The original angel purification array was immediately smashed by this punch. The array base collapsed and fell apart as if the void had collapsed. Countless meteorites around it were shaken into powder. They couldn't help but spit out a large mouthful of blood. Their bodies were shaken to the point that there were countless bloody wounds on them. A large amount of blood flowed out of their bodies, almost turning them into bloody people. That's impossible. Dozens of angels worked together to set up a formation, yet it was shattered by a single punch. I can't accept it, I can't accept it. Why did such a supreme expert appear? Too shameless. You even brought a supreme expert with you to protect yourself. Do you have any shame? Are you so afraid of death? Shameless to the extreme. Human, I look down on you. What kind of hero are you to rely on? We've been lying in ambush for such a long time, waiting for your two forces to fight, waiting for both of you to suffer. Obviously, you're already at the end of your rope, so we should be the real fishermen. Why did you kill us in the end? I can't accept this. Humans, even if we die, we won't let you go. Self-destruct. We will immediately self-destruct and perish together with this human. Even if we die, we must eliminate this human scourge and eliminate a great enemy for our angel race. The angels shouted out one after another, feeling extremely unresigned. They never thought that Xiaoping would have such a trump card, hiding such a terrifying supreme being. In an instant, all of their arrangements were completely destroyed. If he had such a trump card, why didn't he use it just now? If they had seen such a powerful being beside them, they definitely wouldn't have dared to make a move. But now, the supreme being only appeared after they made a move, catching them off guard. He was clearly plotting against them. Originally, they were going to be the fishermen, but they didn't think that they would become the oriole that was being hunted. This kind of contrast made them extremely sullen and crazy. All of them roared out. They were incomparably crazy and actually wanted to self-destruct and perish together with Xia Ping. The angel race is really crazy, self-destructing at the drop of a hat. A cold light flashed in Xia Ping's eyes. He had once heard that every angel was crazy. Once they were in a desperate situation, they would definitely self-destruct and perish together with their enemies. It was as if they didn't care about their own lives at all. Now it seemed that it was indeed so. But do you think you can get away with it? In front of me you can't even self-destruct. Xia Ping sneered, stepped forward and punched the void. Martial arts divine ability, Sun God Fist. Immediately a sun rose in the void. The flames of hell condensed and illuminated the world, illuminating the dark starry sky and forming a world of light. Endless flames burst out like the sun was falling. The surrounding tens of thousands of miles turned into a world of flames. It was as if even the void was burning and collapsing. Wisps of flames seemed to have a life of their own. They turned into small golden crows of hell and flew in all directions, instantly bombarding the bodies of the angels. The angels immediately let out mournful cries. They originally wanted to self-destruct, but the flames invaded their bodies and instantly burned them. Even their souls were on fire. Under such flames, they were in unbearable pain and couldn't self-destruct at all. In just a few breaths' time, the bodies of these angels turned into torches, burning fiercely. Even their feathers turned into flames and were quickly burned to ashes. Dozens of angels were killed just like that. Even the leader of the angels couldn't escape. What is this? Xia Ping looked carefully and immediately saw that after these angels died, they actually left behind pure white crystals that emitted pure light. One circle after another, it warmed people's hearts. Under the illumination of such white light, even the injuries on their bodies seemed to be recovering rapidly. Good stuff, Xia Ping. When Corinne saw this scene, he immediately shouted, "This is the core of the angel race, angelic crystal. It is said that it contains all the essence of the angel race and the mysterious energy of the angel race. If you swallow enough angelic crystals, you can even refine them into an angel body and turn them into a body of light. Even if you don't want to condense an angel body, just the energy of these angelic crystals is enough to greatly promote your magic power cultivation. It is said that these angelic crystals also hide the deepest mysteries of the angel race. It is precisely because of this that even if many angels die, they won't leave their bodies to the enemy and will all self-destruct. Moreover, if anyone obtains an angelic crystal and the angels find out, they will become the enemy of the angel race and will be chased by the angel race forever. But now there are no witnesses. No one knows that you killed so many angels and obtained angelic crystals, so you can be considered to have made a fortune and obtained a large number of treasures." Corinne's tone was very excited because angelic crystals were really rare treasures. After all, under the control of the angel race, angelic crystals rarely flowed out, so they were very valuable. Not bad, not bad. Xia Ping was very satisfied and quickly collected the angelic crystals and put them into the space of the mountain river pearl. While you're at it, swallow all the warship fragments. Xia Ping waved his hand and collected the treasures and space rings left behind by the Red Scarf thieves. There were countless magic treasures and resources inside, but there were also many warship fragments left. Chapter 1591. At this moment, on Heaven and Earth Star, many elders gathered together and set up a temporary teleportation formation. "Quick!" Yu Xiujuan said anxiously, "Why is the speed of building the teleportation formation so slow? If something happens to Xia Ping, can you bear the responsibility? Why aren't you speeding up?" He stared at the elders and urged, "Elder, we are already very fast. It takes time to locate the spatial coordinates of World Head Planet." The elder at the side said helplessly. They had already used up all their strength. Yu Xiujuan knew this too, but a few hours had passed. The Red Scarf bandits would definitely have reached World Head Planet and might be on a killing spree. He just hoped that Xia Ping could be smart and not fight to the death with the Red Scarf bandits. It would be best if he could stall for time until their reinforcements arrived. "We have succeeded." Right at this moment, an elder cried out, "Quick, quick, quick! Activate the teleportation formation and teleport to World Head Planet." Yu Xiujuan shouted. The elders immediately stood on the temporary teleportation formation and waited. They were filled with killing intent. The teleportation formation gave off a huge light and trembled. In the next second, Yu Xiujuan and dozens of Heaven and Earth sect elders disappeared and were teleported to the sky above World Head Planet. "Red Scarf bandits, how dare you invade Heaven and Earth sect's territory? Come out and die. Just as he arrived, Yu Xiujuan shouted. A terrifying aura enveloped the surroundings, trying to find the red scarf bandits and kill them. Such a sound wave shook the surroundings and affected the entire planet. But even after he shouted, the surroundings were still quiet. Nothing happened. Yu Xiujuan's old face was a little embarrassed. He felt that he had roared in vain. The surrounding elders also looked at each other and felt that something was wrong. The world head star was too quiet. It did not seem like it had been invaded by the red scarf bandits. There were no signs of war spreading. What's going on? There doesn't seem to be any aura of the red scarf bandits, and world head planet doesn't seem to be invaded. Could it be that the intelligence is wrong and the red scarf bandits didn't come to world head planet? An elder blinked his eyes and voiced his conjecture. That's impossible. There's no way the red scarf bandits could hide such a huge commotion. Furthermore, they're interstellar pirates. They're vicious and cruel. There's no way they wouldn't make a move after setting up such a huge formation. According to the personality of these interstellar pirates, they wouldn't be afraid of a Saint-class sect. They're just a bunch of desperados. The other elder shook his head. Let's find junior brother Xia first and ask him what's going on, Yu Xiujuan said, feeling that this was a more reliable method. All the elders nodded in agreement. Whoosh. In an instant, they sensed Xia Ping's aura and instantly teleported to the villa where Xia Ping was. Who are you? This is the World Chief Star's territory. Who dares to invade? Do they want to die? Yu Xiujuan and the others had just appeared in the sky above the villa when the surrounding soldiers immediately discovered their presence. All of them angrily shouted, trying to chase away this group of invaders who had suddenly appeared. We are Qingquan faction's elders. Yu Xiujuan revealed their identities and they slowly descended. An elder of the universe faction. Hearing this, many of the soldiers were shocked and hurriedly apologized. They didn't expect so many important people to appear. Were they the reinforcements this time? They immediately admired Xia Ping. How could the previous Qingquan faction disciples be so capable? Sometimes, when they asked for help, there would be no signal for several months. But now that Xia Ping asked for help, the reinforcements arrived in a few hours. Why was the difference between people so huge? We received a request for help from the World Head Star. It said that the Red Scarf Bandits invaded, but why is it so calm now? Did the Red Scarf Bandits retreat and not invade the World Head Star? Yu Xiujuan voiced out his doubts. No. The soldier shook his head. The Red Scarf Bandits did invade the World Head Star. At that time, thousands of battleships and a universe fortress appeared. The elites of the Red Scarf Bandits were all out, even the leader appeared. At that time, the World Head Star was in danger and was on the brink of life and death. Many people wanted to escape with their ships, but at that moment, Lord Jianghu stepped forward and fought with them in the dark starry sky. They fought for several hours, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. In the end, the Red Scarf Bandits were all wiped out. All the battleships and the universe fortress were destroyed. Even the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits died in Lord Yangbu's hands. It was a complete victory. His face was filled with respect and admiration. When they heard the news of the Red Scarf Bandits attacking, they thought that they were dead for sure. They didn't expect Xia Ping to turn the tide alone and wipe out all the Red Scarf Bandits. What? You must be joking. Those are the Red Scarf Bandits and they sent out all their elites. He wiped them out alone. And he's only at the Golden Core realm. How can he fight in a vacuum? Don't joke around. Yu Xiujuan and the others were dumbfounded. It was as if they heard a fantasy story. According to their thoughts, facing the Red Scarf Bandits, Xia Ping wouldn't even be able to escape. But what did they hear? Not only did Xia Ping not escape, he faced them head-on and even wiped out all the Red Scarf Bandits. It was really ridiculous. Of course it's not a joke. The surveillance system around the World Head Star also recorded the scene of Lord Jianghu fighting with the Red Scarf Bandits. But because the battle was too intense, the surveillance system was destroyed by the aftermath of the battle. Not much was recorded, but even so, we can still see Lord Yangbu's heroic battle. The soldier said proudly. Yu Xiujuan and the others didn't waste any time and immediately let the soldiers watch the recording. Sure enough, they immediately saw Xia Ping leaving the World Head Star, leaving the spaceship and fighting with the Red Scarf Bandits and a few returning Truth Realm experts in a vacuum. Unfortunately, the recording stopped when Xia Ping fought with Wuan and the others. As for what happened after that, the surveillance system didn't know because the surrounding surveillance system was destroyed by the aftermath. But even so, they could see through the recording that Xia Ping's combat power was comparable to a returning Truth Realm expert. For a moment they were excited. I didn't expect junior brother Xia to be so powerful. He's only at the Golden Core realm, but he's already comparable to a returning Truth realm expert. This is the talent of a sage. He displayed invincible combat power at a young age. He's invincible in his generation. Jianghu sect is so lucky to actually recruit such a monstrous disciple. In time, junior brother Xia will definitely become a sage. Yeah, at that time, our Jianghu sect will have 4 sages. We can completely dominate the East universe. Chapter 1592. Of course, no one present knew that Xia Ping had fought with many angels and even annihilated all of them in the end. Otherwise, this matter would cause even more shock to the many elders. After all, every single warrior of the angel race was extremely terrifying. Their strength far surpassed that of the Red Scarf Bandits. They were an illustrious fighting race in the universe, and they had once shocked an era. By the way, where is Yang Budong now? Yu Xiujuan said Xia Ping's alias as he didn't want Xia Ping's identity to be exposed for the time being. Master Yang Buping is currently cultivating and recovering from his injuries. He might not be able to come out in a short period of time. After all, he just experienced an extremely tragic battle. The soldier indicated that Xia Ping was in seclusion and couldn't come out yet. Recovering from injuries? Many elders couldn't help but nod their heads. After fighting with so many Red Scarf Bandits, no matter how valiant they were, it was impossible for them to not be injured. It was normal for them to go into seclusion to recover from their injuries. Looks like I won't be able to meet junior brother Xia for the time being. An elder lamented. He knew that once a golden core went into seclusion, it would take at least a month. Sometimes, it was even possible for them to go into seclusion for several months after gaining some insights. Staying in this place was just a waste of time. It's fine. Junior brother Xia will return to the Jianghu sect sooner or later. There's no need for us to disturb junior brother Xia's seclusion, said another elder. Let's go. Yu Xiujuan waved his hand and let the elders leave. Since the Red Scarf Bandits had been eliminated, no other forces would invade World Head Star in a short period of time, so there was no need to worry about Xia Ping's safety. He also got these soldiers to pass on the news that these people had come to help him, saying that they had already come to World Head Planet, but they had come a little late and the battle had already ended. After Yu Xiujuan and the other elders left, the news of the annihilation of the Red Scarf Bandits instantly spread throughout the Eastern Universe. After all, the Red Scarf Bandits were famous interstellar pirates in the Eastern Universe. They committed all sorts of crimes and countless civilians had been harmed by the Red Scarf Bandits. Now, the Red Scarf Thief was annihilated by a Jianghu sect elite disciple. How could it not attract the attention of everyone? The elders of the various saint-level sects were especially concerned about this matter. Could it be that a monstrous true inheritor had appeared in the Jianghu sect? Could it be that even the Red Scarf Bandits were destroyed? After all, the destruction of the Red Scarf Bandits affected the interests of many factions. At this moment, inside the space of the Pearl of Mountain and River, Xia Ping was currently taking inventory of the many treasures that he had obtained from the Red Scarf Bandits. These were the treasures that the Red Scarf Bandits had plundered for 1,000 years. The amount was simply staggering. Master. The Green Ox counted the treasures and said, "This time, we obtained 12 superior-grade spirit artifacts, 107 middle-grade spirit artifacts, 879 inferior-grade spirit artifacts and countless treasures." Other than that, he had also obtained 173 different types of 10,000-year spirit herbs, 13,379,000-year spirit herbs, and hundreds of thousands of ordinary spirit herbs. All of them were priceless. I don't know where these Red Scarf Bandits managed to plunder so many spirit herbs. With these different types of spirit herbs, we can continue to expand the spirit herb garden. It will save us a lot of effort in collecting spirit herbs. It was very excited because these spirit medicines were all very difficult to find, and there were many kinds of them. Ordinary alchemy masters would need to spend a lot of time and effort to find them. However, because this group of Red Scarf Bandits plundered everywhere and didn't care about the species, they were able to collect so many of them. Xia Ping was very satisfied with obtaining so many spirit herbs. This group of Red Scarf Bandits were simply giving away money. Other than spirit herbs, there are also a lot of finished medicinal pills. The Green Ox continued, there are 103,500 bottles of yin and yang pills, 134,000 bottles of 5 elemental pills, 156,000 bottles of cloud mist pills, and 200,000 bottles of healing pills. They might have been plundered everywhere. Most importantly, We also found 15 bottles of Earth Spirit pills from these returning Truth Realm cultivators. Earth Spirit pill? Xiaoping's eyes suddenly lit up. The so-called Earth Spirit pill was said to be refined using the Earth Vein Spirit Marrow and 49 kinds of 10,000-year spirit herbs. It contained a huge amount of medicinal power. This was a top-grade medicinal pill that many returning Truth Realm cultivators liked to use. It was used to strengthen their spiritual power and speed up their cultivation speed. Every pill was expensive and could not be compared to ordinary medicinal pills. If it was so useful for returning Truth Realm cultivators, then it would be even more useful for Golden Core Realm cultivators. Originally, Xiaoping needed to spend a lot of resources to advance a small realm. These Earth Spirit pills were like charcoal in the snow. It could save him a lot of time to condense spiritual power. But these things are nothing. The most important thing is that we found a talisman on the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Dragonwood Talisman. The Green Ox's tone was very excited. Dragonwood Talisman? What is this? Xiaoping asked. This is a pass to open the Dragonwood Secret Realm. As long as you have the Dragonwood Talisman, you can enter this secret realm. The Green Ox said in a deep voice. Maybe Master still doesn't know the origin of the Dragonwood Secret Realm. It is an extremely mysterious secret realm that has existed since ancient times. It is said that it was left behind by an invincible saint and contains a big secret. In the past, countless people had entered the Dragonwood Secret Realm and obtained great fortunes, allowing them to soar to the heavens. Could be said that countless people would do anything to enter the secret realm. I don't know where the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits obtained this Dragonwood Talisman. You should know that such a talisman is priceless. Even the disciples of saint-level sects may not be able to obtain it. There is such a thing? Xiaoping looked at the Green Ox. Of course, because every 100 years the Dragonwood Secret Realm will eject millions of Dragonwood talismans into the void and scattered all over the universe. Only those who are fated can find them. Those who are not fated cannot find them. In short, it depends on luck. The Green Ox said. I also heard about this. Corinne also said, it is said that the Dragonwood Secret Realm will open in a week. According to reliable information, the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits once entered the Dragonwood Secret Realm hundreds of years ago. At that time he obtained great opportunities in the Dragonwood Secret Realm. It is estimated that the 9 heaven-growing soil and the crystal fragrant rice seeds were obtained from the Dragonwood Secret Realm. That is why he built up a huge interstellar pirate clan and has not been defeated for hundreds of years. Master, you must go to this Dragonwood Secret Realm. It is said that the most precious treasure in this secret realm is the Dragonwood Source. It is known as a wood attribute treasure. If you can obtain it, it will definitely speed up the restoration of the Mountain River Pearl. It can even make the spirit field greatly evolve and become a true holy land of spirit herbs. The Green Ox said excitedly. Xiaoping touched his chin. Then where is this Dragonwood Secret Realm? Its entrance seems to be a planet in the Western Universe called Dragonwood Star. This time we may need to go to the Western Universe. Chapter 1593. After thinking for a moment, Xiaoping decided to go to the Dragonwood Secret Realm. After all, it was a great opportunity and there was a wood attribute treasure like the Dragonwood Source. He couldn't miss it. But there was still a week, so he wasn't in a hurry. He would first cultivate in seclusion for a few days to raise his condition to the peak. Only then could he face the next series of challenges. While Xiaoping was cultivating, the news of him exterminating the Red Scarf Bandits quickly spread to the Eastern Universe. At the same time, countless spies came to the World Head Star to dig out the truth behind this matter. After all, the Red Scarf Bandits that had been causing trouble for hundreds of years were exterminated. This was a huge matter that could shake the Eastern Universe. As a result, the investigation of these spies revealed Xiaoping's true identity. It couldn't be hidden at all. This shocked many forces in the Eastern Universe. This was especially so for the Five Elements sect, Lingyun sect, and the other saint-rank sects that were close to the Qinghuan sect. Many disciples and elders turned pale with fright, almost not daring to believe this information. He just entered Qinghuan sect for 2 years and he has already reached the Golden Core realm. His cultivation speed is too fast. What kind of medicine did he take? Even a monstrous genius wouldn't be so terrifying. What secret does he have? It's fine if it's just his cultivation speed, but his combat strength is also terrifying. He can even kill a returning Truth Realm expert. This is too exaggerated and unbelievable. This is the potential of a saint. As long as he doesn't die, he will definitely become a saint. Why is the gap between people so big? Why aren't our disciples as outstanding as Xia Ping? It seems that we didn't supervise them enough. That's why they are always sloppy and their cultivation is lagging behind. I remember that there are a few dangerous secret realms. Why don't we throw them in there to train? Maybe they can stimulate the potential of the direct disciples in the danger. Not bad, this idea is not bad. Let's do this. We have to spoil them too much. We have to be more ruthless. The elders of the various sects discussed animatedly. They were completely stimulated by the matter of Xia Ping advancing to the Golden Core realm and even leaping levels to challenge and kill the Red Scarf Thief. All of them were unconvinced, as if they were injected with stimulants. They didn't believe that their disciples couldn't compare to the direct disciples of Jianghu's sect. They all felt that they had to increase the intensity of training and stimulate the unlimited potential of the direct disciples. This decision also caused many disciples to howl in grief. They immediately hated Xia Ping, the instigator of all this. What the heck, the elders of the sect must have gone mad. To think that they would come up with a mission to send us to some savage beast secret realm. That place is inhabited by a large number of ancient savage beasts, and every single one of them is incomparably ferocious. They love to eat humans. Aren't we just going to be an additional meal for those savage beasts by heading to the savage beast secret realm? That means nothing at all. The savage beast secret realm might be dangerous, but it is still an ordinary world. There are forests, mountains, seas, and so on. As long as we find a place to hide, we won't be in any danger. But our sect's elder wants us to go to the legendary Black Prison secret realm to train. Fuck, that was the Black Prison mystic realm? A mystic realm that was like purgatory on Earth. There were volcanoes everywhere, and it was a desolate place with extremely high temperatures. Not even a single blade of grass could survive there. It said that there are countless vicious criminals locked up in that place. Pretty boys like us entering that place is suicide. If we're caught, we won't even be able to protect our bodies. It's a fate worse than death. Why did the elders go crazy? Why did they suddenly create these training missions? Is there something wrong with their heads? It's all because of that Jianghu sect Xia Ping. Recently, that fellow created a huge piece of news. He exterminated the Red Scarf bandits that had been wreaking havoc in the Eastern Cosmos for many years. He killed a returning Origin Realm cultivator with a Golden Core cultivation and challenged someone of a higher cultivation realm. Isn't that so? When this matter spread out, many of the elders were agitated. They decided to strengthen the training for us, the true inheritors, so that we can catch up to that fellow and bring glory to the sect. Compete your head. That fellow has already challenged someone of a higher cultivation realm. His combat prowess is extremely formidable. Such a demonic genius has the bearing of a saint. Who can defeat him? Who can catch up to him? Why didn't the elders go and compete with that brat instead of finding trouble with us? Hee hee, if you have the guts, say those words to the elders. Let's see if they don't kill you. Damn it, this Xia Ping is harming others and himself. He has nothing better to do all day, and he would create a huge piece of news at the slightest provocation to show that he is very awesome. This daddy here hates such outstanding disciples the most. He's always being dragged over to compete with others. Heavens, please send down a bolt of lightning to strike that fellow to death. Don't let him continue to be smug and harm people. Many disciples of the sect were filled with complaints because of this matter. They were forced to participate in the dangerous training missions. They hated Xia Ping to the core. If they had the chance to meet him, they couldn't wait to beat this bastard up. There were also many forces that hated Xia Ping to the core. Because the Red Scarf bandits and the major forces of the Eastern Cosmos had cooperation, they were entangled with each other endlessly. They colluded with each other and cooperated with many businesses. They became the spokesman of these forces, the White Gloves. That was why they were able to roam freely in the Eastern Cosmos. But now that the Red Scarf bandits were eliminated, many businesses suddenly disappeared, causing many forces to be in a mess. Damn Universe faction Xia Ping, he actually eliminated the Red Scarf bandits. After they die, who will launder money for us and sell arms? It won't be easy to find a qualified agent. Also, the crystal rice is gone. This matter concerns the future of our clan's young members. Without a large source of crystal rice, how can we cultivate and evolve? Doesn't that bastard know that the Red Scarf bandits still have forces like us? He actually dared to make a move against the Red Scarf bandits. He is simply tired of living. That fellow should be hacked into pieces. Don't act rashly. He is a true inheritor of the Universe faction, the eldest disciple of the Dark North Saint. It won't be so easy to deal with this brat. If he wasn't the disciple of the Dark North Saint, I would have sent people to kill him long ago. Why would I wait until now? He acts recklessly just because he has a bit of status. No one taught him the rules of the Eastern cosmos. Just wait, this matter isn't over. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you are the disciple of the Dark North Saint. There will be a time when this brat is unlucky. I won't let him off. Xiaoping? I've completely remembered him. Many forces gnashed their teeth and hated Xiaoping to the core. Because of the elimination of the Red Scarf bandits, they were at a loss. Many businesses were greatly affected. But they also had misgivings about the force and identity behind Xiaoping and didn't dare to take revenge. But even so, they still hated Xiaoping, this hateful shit stirrer. If there was a chance, they wouldn't mind hitting him while he was down and adding oil to the fire. Chapter 1594. A few days later, in the space of the mountain river Pearl. Phew! Xiaoping took a deep breath and opened his eyes, revealing an unfathomable light. It was as if there was chaos in the depths of his pupils and there were endless stars spinning in the depths of his eyes. During this retreat, he swallowed a lot of Earth Spirit Dawn and refined a large amount of Spirit Dawn, transforming them into boundless spiritual power. This greatly increased his spiritual power and saved him at least 100 years of cultivation time. He had to admit that these Earth Spirit Dawn were worthy of being used by cultivators of the returning nature realm. The medicinal power of these Earth Spirit Dawn was extremely huge, far more than the Spirit Dawn that he had consumed before. When he consumed it, it immediately produced a vast amount of medicinal power. After a full 3 days and 3 nights, he was able to completely refine the medicinal power. Of course, he also gained a lot of benefits. At this moment, the Golden Dan in Xiaoping's body was also a bit bigger. The Yuan Shen inside the Golden Dan seemed to be more and more clear, faintly emitting a trace of the Yuan Shen. Of course, this retreat was not only to refine the Earth Spirit Dawn, but also to learn a powerful magical power from the Red Scarf bandits, call the wind and summon the rain. He had seen the power of the call the wind and summon the rain before. It was cast by Wu Wen and the other 3 returning nature realm cultivators together. It exploded with endless terrifying power that contained the power to destroy the world. Therefore he was also very interested in this magical power and hoped to learn it. Call the wind and summon the rain. Xiaoping formed a seal with both hands and immediately formed a magical talisman. It contained the 2 colors of yin and yang and slowly rotated, emitting a mysterious aura and communicating with the heaven and earth. When this magical power was cast, the color of the sky changed. Dark clouds gathered, covering a radius of 3,000 kilometers. The wind howled and ghosts cried. It was as if a hurricane was approaching, accompanied by violent weather. Walala, heavy rain fell from the sky like a scoop, submerging the area of 3,000 kilometers. It formed a flood that was rarely seen in 100 years, submerging fields, mountains and valleys. The wind howled and the hurricane swept across like a storm giant, destroying everything in its path. Even the entire mountain was flipped over and flattened. Although it looked powerful, it was still far from the call the wind and summon the rain that Wu Wen and the others had cast. Because what he summoned was only ordinary rain and wind. It might have a miraculous effect on mortals, but against warriors, it was far from enough. Looks like I have to reach the returning nature realm in order to successfully cultivate this technique. Xiaoping clenched his fists. He also understood why the sacred art he displayed was so much weaker than Wu Wen and the rest. Because Wu Wen and the others were returning nature realm cultivators who had condensed their primordial spirits. Once he condensed his essence soul, he would be able to sense the power contained in the depths of the dimension. In the universe there were many dimensional worlds. These worlds were hidden in the depths of the universe. Without condensing an essence soul, it was impossible to sense them. Some of these dimensional worlds were fiery dimensional worlds that contained boundless deviant flames. Some were lightning dimensional worlds that contained innumerable thunderbolts. And some were icy dimensional worlds that contained a world of ice and snow, with a freezing temperature of 300 million miles. The coldness was bone-piercing and had even reached absolute zero. These were all dimensional worlds where life was extinct. However, martial artists who had condensed their primordial spirit could communicate with these dimensional worlds that contained special energy. They could even absorb these dimensional energies to enhance their own magical powers and even condense their magic power to speed up their cultivation. However, some returning nature realm cultivators with weak essence souls could only communicate with shallow dimensional worlds. These dimensional energies were weak and could not unleash much power. Returning nature realm cultivators with powerful essence souls could communicate with even deeper dimensional worlds, allowing them to unleash terrifying power and even absorb these dimensional energies as their own. The summoning wind and summoning rain mystique allowed returning nature realm cultivators to communicate with the endless dimensional worlds and absorb these dimensional energies for their own use. They could then attack their enemies with devastating power. It could be said that this mystique could only be used by cultivators above the returning nature realm. In fact, the stronger one's soul, the more powerful this mystique would be. Xia Ping even felt that this mystique was tailor-made for him. Master, it's about time to head to the Western Universe and enter the Dragonwood secret realm. Just then Azure Cow's voice rang out, reminding Xia Ping to pay attention to his schedule. All right. Xia Ping nodded. He also walked out of the Pearl of Mountain River and ended his seclusion. If he continued, he would most likely miss the opening of the Dragonwood secret realm. Master. Xia Ping just walked out of his seclusion room. Many people in the mansion looked at Xia Ping with reverence. They seemed to be even more fanatical and excited than before. He felt that it was very strange. After asking carefully, he found out that while he was in seclusion, the news of the Red Scarf Bandits' destruction had spread throughout the Eastern Universe. And his identity was naturally exposed. Everyone knew his true identity. He was the direct disciple of the Heaven and Earth sect, the eldest disciple of the Dark North Saint Xia Ping. After knowing this news, many of the underworld forces of the World Head Planet submitted to him. They were no longer disloyal and were instead extremely excited. Because they followed such a big figure who could possibly be the existence of a future saint. It was equivalent to hugging a super big thigh. How could they not be willing? If their clan leaders knew of Xia Ping's true identity, Xia Ping wouldn't even need to do anything. They would all voluntarily surrender and become Xia Ping's #1 lackey. After all, their previous identity was just a gangster from an ordinary planet. How could it compare to the title of a future saint's subordinate? As long as they followed Xia Ping, they could do whatever they wanted in the 6 major star fields and bully others. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Those people chose the wrong side, so they died. So that's how it is. Xia Ping was enlightened. He also knew the reason for the change in everyone's attitude. He didn't care that his identity was exposed. After all, he was the disciple of the Dark North Saint. No matter how monstrous the things he did, it was normal. Ordinary people might be suspicious and curious about his cultivation speed. But they definitely wouldn't dare to openly plot against him. Who asked him to have the support of a saint? Elder and the others have come before. Xia Ping found out that Yu Xiujuan and the others had come. But they were afraid of disturbing his cultivation, so they returned to Heaven and Earth Star. They also informed him that the sect's mission was considered completed and he could return to Heaven and Earth Star at any time. And as the sect's mission was completed, Heaven and Earth Star could become Xia Ping's territory. It could be said that in the future Heaven and Earth Star would be his personal territory. He didn't need to pay taxes to the sect and had a high degree of autonomy. All of you managed the World Head Planet well. I'm going out for a while. Chapter 1595. The stars sailed in the Western Universe, passing by many planets along the way. Xia Ping could also feel the vastness and mysteriousness of the universe. After 3 days of traveling, he knew how different the Western Universe was. If the Eastern Universe was considered a peaceful star region, the Southern Universe was a barren star region, and the Western Universe was a chaotic star region. Such chaos was no ordinary chaos. It was like a jumble of fish and dragons. There were so many races and factions involved that it was impossible to know where to start. It could be said that there were many races in the Western Universe, far surpassing the other 3 universes. It could be said to be the demon's paradise. Moreover, not only were there many races in the Western Universe, but the most chaotic thing was that they were at odds with each other, especially with their religions. Tragic wars often broke out. For example, the Angel clan was against the Demon clan, the Buddhist sect was against the Angel sect, and even the Luohan clan, the Sucking Blood clan, the Azura clan, the Rakshasa clan, the Yiksha clan, the Fairy clan, and the Flood Dragon clan were fighting for territories and resources. However, even though they were at odds with each other, this region could be considered the demon's base camp. Many famous demon races' holy lands were in the Western Universe. However, due to the severe antagonism between them, they were extremely territorial. Basically, other than their own race and friendly races that had registered in their territory, outsiders were basically not allowed to enter the boundaries of these territories. Once one approached, one would be warned by these races. If one dared to continue approaching, one would be attacked and treated as the enemy of their race. They would be killed without mercy. In fact, the stars would receive many warning signals when they passed by each planet. If Xia Ping continued approaching, he would definitely be shot down by these planets' defense systems. the defense is too tight. Xiaoping also realized that almost every race in the Western universe occupied a star region. These star regions were connected with countless ancient planets with life, forming many ancient star map formations. These ancient planets with life operated according to the star map formation, mobilizing the power of the stars. They were connected and condensed into one. It was impossible for ordinary people to enter this star region. Unless a saint took action and tore these star region formations apart, one could only enter the star region with the permission of these races. What a troublesome region. Xiaoping immediately sensed that the Western universe was not a universe region that welcomed humans. The races there were extremely xenophobic, especially some races that had grudges with humans. If those races saw humans, they wouldn't hesitate to attack, the kind that wouldn't rest until they were dead. Of course, not all places were extremely xenophobic. There were also many commercial planets in the Western cosmos. These places provided life forms of the various races to come to the Western cosmos to trade. Only such a place could allow so many life forms to enter. And Dragonwood Planet was such a commercial planet. Xiaoping, I suggest that you use the faceless mask to transform into a life form of the Western universe's races. This way you can avoid a lot of trouble. If you are a human, you will definitely be targeted by many of the Western universe's races. Corinne suggested. Indeed, I can't walk around the Western universe as a human. Xiaoping nodded. The reason he came to the Dragonwood secret realm was to get his hands on some treasures, and he didn't want to become the target of everyone before he even got his hands on any. After another day, the star finally arrived at the Western universe's Dragonwood Planet. Unlike the other galaxies that were occupied by other races, Dragonwood Planet had become an independent planet due to the existence of the Dragonwood secret realm. It was not under the jurisdiction of any race, and it was governed by the various races of the Western universe. Therefore, this planet was a lawless zone, and Xiaoping could easily enter the vicinity of this planet. However, he was not the only spaceship that appeared on Dragonwood Planet. Along the way, at least hundreds of thousands of spaceships appeared, flying from all over the universe and entering Dragonwood Planet. These spaceships were probably here for the Dragonwood secret realm that was about to open. Amazing, they actually transformed a planet into a city. Through the star's detection system, Xiaoping could see the internal situation of Dragonwood Planet. He was amazed to find that Dragonwood Planet had been transformed into a huge city. This city was divided into 360 regions, and each region was extremely huge. The streets were as wide as plains and all kinds of tall buildings stood tall. Countless life forms lived in the city, going in and out, and business was flourishing. Swoosh. The star stopped at the port of Dragonwood Planet, and countless spaceships also landed here. Not far in front of the port, there was a huge and majestic city wall. There were many mysterious and complicated array formations set up on it, and they contained powerful might. Even Transcendence Realm cultivators would not dare to barge in casually. Many elite soldiers stood around the city wall. They were all powerful, and they were at least at the True Fire Realm. The captains were at the Golden Elixir Realm. The commander-level soldiers were at the Returning Nature Realm, and such power was enough to suppress a planet. These soldiers guarded the city gate, and they registered everyone who entered and left Dragonwood Planet. Register? Seems like I really have to change my appearance. Seeing this situation, Xiaoping frowned. He felt that this city was heavily guarded, and the soldiers were all races of the Western universe such as the Devil race, the Angel race, and so on. There were basically no humans. If he encountered any trouble here, he would probably not be able to escape. After all, this was someone else's territory. At the thought of this, he immediately used the formless mask and instantly turned into a monk. He had a big bald head, a benevolent expression, and his hands were clasped together. He was completely a member of the Luohan tribe. He left the port, and he also put the star back into the Mountain River Pearl space. After all, he did not want to leave this spaceship at the port, in case he encountered any unnecessary trouble. Who are you? What's your name? Immediately tell us your identity and background, as well as your purpose of coming to Dragonwood Planet. Also, pay the city entrance fee before you can enter Dragonwood Planet. When Xiaoping approached the city gate, a 2-meter-tall bird-person soldier with a humanoid body but a bird's head stood out, stopping Xiaoping from advancing. He shouted, "If you dare to hide anything, you will be killed without mercy." His bird eyes stared at Xiaoping with a murderous look. "I am Invincible Wu, an itinerant cultivator of the Luohan tribe. I came to Dragonwood Planet mainly to enter the Dragonwood mystic realm to train and experience the hardships of the masses. I hope you can do me a favor." Xia Ping clasped his hands together, looking benevolent. What? Enter the Dragonwood Mystic Realm to train? Could it be that you have the spirit talisman of the Dragonwood Mystic Realm on you? The bird-person soldier's eyes gleamed and he stared at Xia Ping. Chapter 1596. Benefactor, you are mistaken. Xia Ping smiled. Buddha once said that form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Being is non-being, non-being is being. Is there such a big difference between being and non-being? Everything in the world is but an illusion. His face was full of benevolence like an enlightened monk. The mouths of the surrounding people twitched. None of them understood what Xia Ping was talking about. Illusion my ass. Speak human language. Hearing this, the birdman soldier's face turned as black as charcoal. It flew into a rage and said, "Do you have the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman on you? Are you asking for a beating?" It hated shameless bald donkeys like this the most. They would always say things that others couldn't understand, making themselves sound very cultured and ignorant. All right, to put it simply, I do have the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman on me, Xia Ping said honestly. The birdman soldier looked at Xia Ping suspiciously. Really? Don't lie. Monks don't lie. Xia Ping took out the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman and waved it in front of the birdman soldier. The eyes of the surrounding people lit up. They could also sense the mysterious aura contained within the spirit talisman. It seemed to have a mysterious connection with Dragonwood Star, causing the heavens and earth to resonate. Many people looked at Xia Ping with jealousy. Why was this bald donkey so lucky to be able to obtain the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman while they couldn't? Some people's eyes were filled with greed and cruelty, wanting nothing more than to snatch the spirit talisman from Xia Ping's body. However, they were wary of the soldiers around the city gate and didn't dare to act rashly. After all, the rules of Dragonwood Star were very strict. Not many people dared to violate them. It really is the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman. Seeing the spirit talisman, the birdman soldier couldn't help but nod. It had seen similar spirit talismans before, so it could distinguish between the real and the fake. Very good. Since you have this spirit talisman, you don't need to pay any entrance fees to enter Dragonwood Star, nor do you need to register your information. Furthermore, there will be people who will arrange your accommodation. You can wait for the Dragonwood Secret Realm to open, then enter it to search for various treasures and soar to the sky. Don't worry, Dragonwood Star forbids all fighting. Violators will be hunted down by the myriad races of the Western universe. No one dares to cause trouble on Dragonwood Star. Now please come with me. After saying that, it waved its hand at Xia Ping and led him into Dragonwood Star City. Sure. Xia Ping didn't hesitate and followed the birdman soldier into the city. The two of them flew for thousands of miles before finally arriving at a villa in the outskirts. This is a standalone villa. Before the Dragonwood Secret Realm opens, you can rest here. Soon, the avian soldier brought Xia Ping to a standalone villa. The villa covered an area of more than 3 mu, and there were pavilions and flowing water. There was a rock garden, a swimming pool, a sports field, and many other things. At the same time, it contained dense spirit chi, and there was a spirit gathering formation set up around it. It was also located in the middle of a spirit vein node. This also made this villa a holy land for cultivation. The density of the spirit chi was more than 10 times that of other places. Xia Ping looked around at the surroundings and was very satisfied. He asked, "Oh right, when will the Dragonwood Secret Realm open?" 2 more days, the birdman soldier replied. So, you don't need to be in a hurry for now. You can also take advantage of this time to wander around Dragonwood Star. This planet is also a famous commercial planet, selling all kinds of rare treasures. At the same time, there are all kinds of entertainment venues. If you have enough money on you, this planet is basically a paradise, where you can enjoy all kinds of entertainment. Of course, if you don't have money, just stay in the villa and don't go anywhere. Just watch TV. After all, every inch of land here is worth its weight in gold. Everything needs money. Xia Ping nodded, indicating that he understood. Alright, that's it then. If there's anything else, you can look for me. After saying that, the birdman soldier left, leaving Xia Ping alone in the villa. A few minutes later, the birdman soldier left the villa, but it didn't immediately return to the city wall. Instead, it turned left and right and came to another huge and luxurious mansion. It came to a study in the mansion and talked to a young man. "Young master," the birdman soldier reported, "these days I finally received a rogue cultivator with a Dragonwood Secret Realm talisman. He's from the Arhat tribe. I've arranged for him to rest in a nearby villa. What should we do next? Good, very good. Hearing this, the young man in yellow stood up, his eyes shone with a terrifying light. The Dragonwood Secret Realm is a secret realm that has existed since ancient times. There are countless treasures and opportunities inside, but it also contains great secrets. If anyone can get their hands on it, they will definitely soar to the sky. Unfortunately, only 1,000,000 talismans are released every time, and they are scattered all over the universe. Even if most of them are scattered in the Western universe, there are still a few scattered in other regions of the universe. If you want to get one, you can only rely on luck. I, Duanmu Kong, as the young master of the nine-headed bird tribe, can't even get a single Dragonwood Secret Realm talisman. This is ridiculous. Instead, some lowly people got their hands on the talismans to enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm. This is so unfair. The bird's face was filled with unwillingness, and it was extremely fierce. Isn't that right? Those useless trash, even if they get their hands on the talismans, it's useless. With their weak strength, entering the Dragonwood Secret Realm is nothing but suicide. The Birdman soldier also nodded in agreement. That's right. That's why I want to take one of the Dragonwood Secret Realm talismans and enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm in their place. This way these lowly people can get their lives back. Who knows, they might even be grateful to me. Duanmu Kong, the young master of the nine-headed bird tribe, said proudly. Since young master has made the decision, this subordinate will naturally not refuse. The Birdman soldier said in a deep voice, however, I can sense that this person is at least in the Golden Core realm, and his strength is not weak. Furthermore, he is from the Arhat tribe, so I'm afraid he won't be easy to deal with. Moreover, Dragonwood Star forbids people from fighting each other. If we try to kill a member of the Arhat tribe, I'm afraid it will cause a lot of trouble. Even our nine-headed bird tribe might not be able to handle it. He was worried about this. Don't worry. Duanmu Kong waved his hand. I've already prepared for this. The villa has a restrictive array formation that I left behind. Once we make a move, it will immediately seal off the surroundings, forming an absolute forbidden zone. At that time, no matter what I do in this forbidden zone, no one will find out. At that time, we can kill this bald donkey of the Arhat tribe without anyone knowing. A ferocious expression appeared on his face, and killing intent surged. As expected of the young master, your calculations are indeed meticulous. I'll go make the arrangements right away. Chapter 1597. In the quiet room of the villa. Xia Ping sat cross-legged, a faint golden light covering his entire body, even the ground was dyed gold. He looked like a golden Luohan, and there was a faint sound of Sanskrit around him. But this was just an illusion, and it was very effective to fool people. It is a pleasure to have guests from afar. Since you have come to this place, why don't you come out and show yourselves? Why hide? Suddenly Xia Ping opened his eyes and said, Dong. As soon as he finished speaking, the quiet room was instantly torn apart by a force, and the whole place was turned into rubble and dust. Whoosh. In the next second, a group of people appeared from outside, led by the young clan leader of the nine-headed bird clan, Duanmu Kong. He emitted an overbearing aura, distorting the air and creating illusions. Impressively, he had the strength of the mid-stage of the returning nature realm. Beside him, dozens of followers also appeared, all of them at least at the peak of the Golden Core realm, and there were 8 at the early stage of the returning nature realm. These were the elites of the nine-headed bird clan. He slowly walked over, and a large formation rose around the entire villa, covering several miles, forming a transparent protective shield like a tortoise shell, covering all 4 directions, forming an absolute forbidden zone. No sound, no magical power fluctuations could be transmitted out of this zone. As expected of a Luohan expert, an enlightened monk, Duanmu Kong stared at Xia Ping. I did not expect that we would be discovered by you the moment we arrived here. You really have incredible perception, forcing me to reveal my identity and take action personally. But it doesn't matter, since you have already fallen into the trap, and you can't escape even if you want to. Hand over the talisman of the Dragonwood Secret Realm, and I will spare your life. He looked down on Xia Ping, ordering him around. So you want the talisman of the Dragonwood Secret Realm? Why go through so much trouble? Xia Ping said with a merciful face. Monks are merciful. As long as you ask me, I will definitely give it to you. After all, one talisman can bring 5 people into the Dragonwood Secret Realm, so giving a few spots is just a small matter. Hearing this, Green Ox and Corinne were both speechless. This guy did not even have a draft when lying. It would be strange if he would give it to them. If this group of people really dared to reach out, they would have already been killed with a palm. What I, Duan Wukong, like to do the most is to rob, kill and rob. If I see something good, I'll take it. If I see a woman I like, I'll snatch it. I never like to ask others for it. Duan Wukong said arrogantly, taking a step back. If I humbly ask a bald donkey of the Luohan tribe to take the quota, where would the face of the nine-headed bird tribe be? Do you still have any shame? The other nine-headed bird elites also laughed coldly. They looked at Xia Ping as if they were looking at a dead man. Lay down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha. Almsgiver, why do you need to kill again? Why don't you come back with me to eat vegetarian food and pray to Buddha? You can live a peaceful life. This is good for everyone and let the world be filled with love. Xia Ping gave his suggestion to convert the nine-headed bird young lord. Eat your grandpa. Damned bald donkey. You actually want to convert me? You don't even know how to write the word, death. Duan Wukong roared in anger and instantly attacked Xia Ping. Bloodline divine ability, eagle claw mountain smashing art. Boom, he turned his hand into a claw, like the sharp claw of an ancient ferocious bird. It was extremely sharp, as if sword chi was shooting out. It buzzed and vibrated thousands of times, cutting through the air. In an instant the claw came crashing down. It contained thousands of rays of light and was extremely sharp. It formed a heaven and earth net, covering Xia Ping's body in an instant. There was nowhere to escape. Looks like killing has become second nature to you. The evil nature has entered your brain and you have already become a devil. You need to be expiated before you can become a Buddha. Forget it, if I don't go to hell, who will? Xia Ping revealed a compassionate look and took a step forward. Martial divine ability, Buddha's palm. This was a martial path divine power that he learned in the cloudy realm. Although it was not of a high level, it contained the profound meaning of Buddhism. Under the activation of his dense spiritual energy, the power that erupted from it was not inferior to other divine powers. After he advanced to the golden elixir realm, even if he used the basic fist techniques, he could still exert the power of divine abilities. This was the return to the natural state of martial arts, turning the rotten into the magical. With a slap, the heaven and earth shook. It was as if the Buddha had descended. Golden light shone brightly, Sanskrit sounded, and densely packed golden runes appeared in the sky, forming a Buddhist scripture. Dong. Immediately, Duan Wukong's bloodline divine ability was shaken into a ball of vitality and completely destroyed. Even an unparalleled force crushed over, and the sound waves rolled. Duan Wukong let out a shrill scream, and his whole body was blasted away. A deep crack appeared on the ground, and he instantly hit the energy shield around the villa. In an instant, the entire energy shield shook continuously and buzzed, but it was still very strong and could not break free. And he also felt as if he hit a solid wall, and the shock caused his lungs to be injured. He could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Impossible. Duan Wukong went crazy. He could not believe it. He stared at Xia Ping. You are just a bald donkey in the golden elixir realm. How can you be a match for me, the young master of the nine-headed bird in the middle stage of the returning nature realm? How did this happen? He could not accept such a reality. He was a mighty figure in the returning nature realm. His strength, cultivation, and martial arts realm should all be above this bald donkey. But now, with just a slap, he was severely injured on the spot. He was not convinced. Evil cannot win over good. Xia Ping said matter-of-factly, Benefactor has gone too far into evil, killing without reason, and is despised by the heavens. Even if my martial arts are weak, Benefactor is definitely not my opponent. If Benefactor realizes now, maybe there is still hope. Otherwise, you will fall into the Avicii hell and suffer the pain of the 6 paths of reincarnation. Evil my ass, damn bald donkey, a bunch of nonsense. Duan Wukong was mad. Although I do not know what kind of demonic technique you used, under the divine ability of the nine-headed bird race, you are just an ant. Die, turn into dust. He was completely furious. He revealed his true form and revealed his original form. He turned into a demonic beast that was dozens of meters tall and had 7 bird heads. His body emitted a terrifying demonic aura, distorting the air and creating illusions. Although Duan Wukong was from the nine-headed bird race, he was not born with 9 heads. Instead, through cultivation and evolution, he slowly grew 9 heads. Purple Mansion Realm 9-headed birds had 1 head, Fulfillment Realm 9-headed birds had 2, and so on. When they advanced to the Thunder Calamity Realm, they would truly have 9 heads. If they could combine all 9 heads, they would be able to advance to the Sage Realm. But even if they did not advance to the Sage Realm, they had 9 lives with their 9 heads. As long as they did not destroy all of their heads at once, they could rapidly regenerate and recover. In fact, each head had a unique power that could awaken a bloodline divine ability. Chapter 1598. Die Bald Donkey. Duan Wukong roared angrily. He instantly unleashed his most powerful bloodline magic, the nine-headed void diagram. He was going to use all his strength to instantly kill this Luohan scum. Rumble, immediately, a Dao diagram appeared beneath his feet. It was engraved with dense and mysterious runes. They gathered together and transformed into a nine-headed divine bird. This nine-headed divine bird roared at the sky and stood tall in the void. Countless stars revolved around it, giving birth to the power of the starry sky. It was incomparably fierce and the surroundings were filled with a terrifying aura. Faintly, this aura condensed into the aura of swords and blades. They collided with each other and clanged loudly. It was as if thousands of soldiers and horses were attacking. The most tragic battle had taken place. This Dao diagram crushed down. The cries of the ancient bird pierced through metal and cracked stone. The entire villa was instantly destroyed. The surrounding earth was shaken until it shattered and rumbled. Rays of black light appeared one after another like starlight. They intertwined with each other and formed a peerless killing array. It contained an incomparably terrifying sharpness that was enough to tear apart the stars. Divine Elephant Breathing Technique. Xiaoping still had a smile on his face and was unmoved. However, he activated the Divine Elephant Breathing Technique. Every breath he took seemed to mobilize the power of heaven and earth, causing the world to pulse. Behind him, the air distorted and formed a divine elephant. It walked out of the chaos, towering between heaven and earth. It emitted a divine aura that was as mighty as a mountain, suppressing the world. He raised his hand like a divine elephant raising its trunk. The heavens and earth collapsed and the entire void collapsed. Endless air was compressed, forming a terrifying giant vortex. Boom, just a single palm strike landed on the Dao diagram. Immediately, the Dao diagram was struck by a terrifying attack. The terrifying power of the divine elephant exploded out like a world-destroying flood, destroying everything in its path. Immediately, the Dao diagram was blasted into pieces and completely collapsed. Dong! Duan Wukong screamed again. His body was sent flying. He had suffered incomparably heavy injuries. Even one of his heads was hit by this palm strike and was instantly smashed into a mass of meat paste. Young master! Damned bald donkey, how dare he hurt the young master? Kill him. Let's go together and set up the 9 heads 4 palaces 8 trigrams slaughtering formation to bury this bald donkey. Seeing this, the 9-headed bird elites were all infuriated. Seeing their young master being sent flying once again, and even one of his heads exploded, he was heavily injured. If word of this got out and they returned to the clan, they would definitely be severely punished by the clan leader and elders. If they couldn't even protect the young master, what was the use of elites like them? Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The 9-headed bird elites quickly took action. They joined hands and attacked at the same time. Wave after wave of killing intent interweaved, forming a killing formation that could destroy heaven and earth. Even the restrictive formation around the villa seemed to be unable to withstand it. It was about to collapse under the pressure of this imposing aura. It was completely shattered and the foundation of the formation was damaged. Their ferocious nature is hard to tame. You are indeed evil creatures. Fine, this poor monk will send you to see Buddha to subdue demons. Xiaoping jumped up and circulated the divine elephant breathing technique. A divine elephant formation diagram appeared behind him, suppressing the heavens and earth. He attacked in an instant, and the sky was filled with tens of thousands of fist prints. Each fist print in the air contained the power of a divine elephant, capable of tearing gods and demons apart and suppressing everything. Dong dong dong. These 9-headed bird elites didn't even know what was happening. Their bodies were punched and their bodies exploded into pieces, turning into meat paste. They died on the spot. They didn't even have the chance to scream before they were killed by a single punch. Bald donkey. Aren't you a monk supposed to be merciful? Why did you kill so many of my subordinates? What's the difference between you and us? You hypocrite. You shameless bastard. Seeing this, Duan Wukong's eyes were wide open. Tears flowed out of his eyes and his lungs were about to explode. These were all 9-headed bird elites and his trusted subordinates. He didn't know how many years it took for him to find so many loyal subordinates. They would become his foundation in the future and help him become the clan leader of the 9-headed bird tribe. But now they were all dead. This bald donkey killed them all. He was so mad that he even wanted to tear Xiaoping into pieces. Amit Ba. Xiaoping clasped his hands. Benefactor, you're mistaken. What is life, what is death, and what is life and death? It's just a concept. In your eyes they might be dead, but in the eyes of Buddha, it's a rebirth. Therefore I didn't kill them but purgatory. It's a salvation, a sublimation. I'll personally send them to the land of ultimate bliss to accompany Buddha. Who knows, they might even be grateful to me. Grateful my ass. Duanmu Kong was furious. He had never seen such a cruel monk. It was obvious that Xiaoping had killed so many of his subordinates, but the monk was still twisting words and saying that it was purgatory and salvation. If that was the case, he had saved countless lives in his life. I'm an only child and have no younger sisters. But benefactor, you don't need to worry. I'll send you to see Buddha right now and reunite with your subordinates. This is the beauty of helping others achieve their goals, and also the virtue of this poor monk. Xiaoping said. What? You want to kill me? Duanmu Kang's eyes were filled with fear. He suddenly remembered that he was in a life and death crisis. He was being targeted by this ferocious bald donkey. I'm the young chief of the nine-headed bird tribe. My father is the nine-headed bird king. If you dare kill me, even the Luohan tribe won't be able to protect you. This will also cause a war between the nine-headed bird tribe and the Luohan tribe. Can you bear the consequences? Don't worry, I can bear the consequences. As the saying goes, if I don't enter hell, who will? If the Luohan tribe wants me dead in the future to appease the nine-headed bird tribe, I'll come out and offer myself. It's just death. Xiaoping looked like he was ready to die a martyr's death. Fuck this lunatic, crazy monk. Who wants to die with you? Duanmu Kong was at his wit's end. This bastard is a lunatic. Logic doesn't make sense. He's clearly playing me to death. Thinking of this, Duanmu Kong gritted his teeth and immediately took out a black talisman and tore it. Boom. Immediately, the black talisman turned into a ball of black smoke and quickly condensed into a phantom of the nine-headed bird king. This was the protective talisman his father had left him. It was condensed from a wisp of the nine-headed bird king's soul. My son, what's going on? Why did you use the talisman I gave you? Did something happen? The nine-headed bird king opened its eyes and emitted a terrifying aura. The aura condensed into a solid form, causing the surrounding rocks to tremble. It was as if there was a magnitude 8 earthquake. Father King, save me. This crazy monk wants to kill me. He's extremely savage and killed all my subordinates. I hope that Father King can take action and kill this bald donkey. Chapter 1599. What? A bald donkey from the Luohan dares to harm my son? Do you want to die? Hearing Duanmu Kang's words, the bird king was enraged. Even though it was just a fragment, it still contained a trace of the power of a retribution realm cultivator. The restrictive array formation around the villa was shaken and crackling sounds could be heard. Cracks that were visible to the naked eye appeared on the originally transparent energy shield. At this moment, cracks that looked like spider webs appeared on the glass. If the power was any stronger, the entire seal would have shattered. Sir, Xiaoping said. Your son has fallen too deeply into the demonic path. If this goes on, I'm afraid he will become a demon who will do all kinds of evil and bring disaster to the nine-headed bird tribe. I'm sending him to see the Buddha for his own good. Eradicating his demonic nature will also help the nine-headed bird tribe get rid of a scourge. Isn't this a good thing? Why stop me? 18 generations of demons, fucking bald donkeys, still stubborn even at death's door. Father, don't waste time talking to this bitch. Get rid of him quickly. Duanmu Kong was so angry that his nose was crooked. This fucking monk still wanted to slander him even at death's door. Damn it. Whether or not my son is a demon is none of your business. Since you dare to attack my son, then die. The nine-headed bird king sneered with a murderous aura. Nine-headed bird secret technique, claw shattering the void. In an instant, a huge black claw reached out. There were densely packed runes of nine-headed birds on it, as if there were many divine birds living in it. The claw's aura was vast and contained the terrifying power of the birds. The huge claw was like a long river that pierced through the void, bringing with it a terrifying aura. Everywhere it went, the air around it exploded inch by inch, as if it was going to completely destroy everything and turn it into dust. Although this was only a fragment of the nine-headed bird king's soul, the power it displayed was far beyond Duanmu Kang's. It was almost at the peak of the returning truth realm. Whoosh! Xiaoping's body flashed and turned into a Kunping, disappearing without a trace. No aura could lock onto his body. As if he had escaped into the void, he instantly escaped from the claw. Dong. This claw instantly tore apart the restrictive array formation of this villa, shaking it to pieces. Terrifying cracks appeared everywhere, and the entire villa was shaken into rubble and debris. The ground was also hit by this claw, instantly forming a shockingly deep crater that was several kilometers wide. The crater was several hundred meters deep and countless soil splattered out. The rocks in the depths of the soil were also shaken into powder. The surroundings of the huge pit were filled with the terrifying aura of the ferocious birds, which made people shiver. Such a commotion also attracted the attention of others, and they all turned their gazes over. Many people were also shocked. There was actually someone who dared to make a move on Dragonwood Star. Wasn't he afraid of becoming the enemy of the various races of the Western universe? You actually managed to dodge this king's claw? You do have some ability, but how many times can you escape? The nine-headed bird king saw that Xia Ping had dodged his claw attack. Xia Ping's silhouette was illusory and untraceable, as though he had disappeared into the void. This made the bird king incomparably astonished at the mysterious bald donkey's movement technique. But as he spoke, he was still constantly striking at Xia Ping's confidence, trying to give him a fatal sense of pressure, causing fear in this kid's heart, and from then on an opening would appear. As expected of the nine-headed bird king, but in the end, this is only a strand of his soul. This poor monk is a monk, and I never lie. I said that I would send your son to meet the Buddha, and I will definitely do so. As soon as the sound of his voice faded, Xia Ping instantly appeared from another direction, arriving behind Duanmu Kang. He then punched out, causing the stars to tremble. It was as though a divine elephant had walked out from the chaos, opening up a universe. Stop. If you dare to kill my son, the nine-headed bird race will not rest until one of us is dead. Do you know that? The nine-headed bird king was infuriated to the extreme. He felt a fatal danger approaching and he roared crazily, trying to stop Xia Ping. But it was already too late. Xia Ping's punch was like a mountain pouring down, unstoppable and unstoppable. No! Duanmu Kang screamed. He felt the punch land on his chest, and with a boom his entire body exploded. The remaining 6 heads were all smashed into pieces, turning into meat paste. Right now all 7 of his heads had exploded. No matter how tenacious the nine-headed bird king was, there was no way he could survive. My son! The nine-headed bird king screamed. His voice was so shrill that it pierced through metal and cracked rocks. The tall buildings in the surroundings were shaken and cracks appeared on them. You bastard! How dare you kill my son? I'm not done with you, you damned bald donkey. Do you know that? The nine-headed bird king was enraged. He never thought that this bald donkey would be so daring as to kill his son right in front of him. I'm not playing with you anymore. Let's meet again in the future if fate wills it. Xia Ping made a grabbing motion and immediately plundered all the spatial rings from Duanmu Kang and the others, taking them for himself. He then fled into the distance at an extremely fast speed. This was because he could feel many powerful auras rushing over from all directions. If he continued to waste time here, he would probably be surrounded and attacked. It would be very disadvantageous for him. Don't even think about running. You killed my son and you still want to run? Is there such a thing in the world? The nine-headed bird king flew into a rage. He slapped out with his claw, almost using all the power of the avatar. Carrying a terrifying aura, he slammed towards Xia Ping. Countless restrictive formations appeared in the surrounding space, stacking on top of each other, forming a supreme killing formation. They contained a terrifying cold light, tearing apart everything, and whistling sounds rang out. I gave you face, but you don't want it. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Xia Ping turned around and activated the divine elephant breathing technique, activating the power of his bloodline. His heart pounded like a war drum, burning like the sun. Using all the power in his body, he punched towards the nine-headed bird king's avatar. Boom! This punch contained the might of the divine elephant. It was as if the sky was going to explode. A divine elephant was born and countless formations appeared. Vaguely, countless gods and demons walked out from the depths of hell roaring. In the depths of the air, there were black traces intertwining with each other like the trajectory of the Tao. It was as if they had pierced through space and connected to hell. Under this punch, all living beings and materials would be completely crushed. This was the ultimate power, an attack that surpassed imagination. Bang! The giant claw was instantly smashed into pieces, and the nine-headed bird king's avatar was also hit. It was sent flying and exploded inch by inch, turning into nothingness just like that. Before the avatar disappeared, the nine-headed bird king revealed a shocked expression. He couldn't believe that his avatar was destroyed by a little golden core realm monk. It was simply unbelievable. Nine-headed bird king, don't do too much evil in the future. Otherwise, I will send you to see your son and reunite with the Buddha. Xia Ping left these words for the nine-headed bird king and immediately left. At the same time he used the formless mask and turned into a bird. He hid his aura and quickly disappeared from this place. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Chapter 1600. What's going on? Who dares to make a move on Dragonwood Planet? Is he tired of living? I remember this place is a villa bought by the nine-headed bird young master. Did something happen to Duanmu Kong? It must be him. I just heard the nine-headed bird king's angry roar. Look, it's Duanmu Kang's corpse and his dozens of elite subordinates. They're all elites of the nine-headed bird clan, but now they're all dead. Who killed them? Yes, the matter has been investigated. A soldier at the city gate confessed that he was hired by Duanmu Kong to find a wandering cultivator with a spirit talisman of the Dragonwood secret realm. Then, a wandering cultivator from the Luohan appeared. He had no background and was carrying a spirit talisman. The result was as you can imagine. That Luohan itinerant cultivator was lured to this villa. Duanmu Kong wanted to kill him and rob him of his treasures and talismans. He did not expect that the itinerant cultivator was not a kind soul. Instead, Duanmu Kong and the others were unlucky and were all killed. What an idiot. He was the one who ambushed them but they were killed instead. But who is this wandering cultivator from the Luohan? He can't be ordinary if he could kill even Duanmu Kong. I'm not sure, but his name seems to be Wu Wudi. What an arrogant name. Is he really a monk? When did the Luohan have someone like this? Who cares? Anyway, it's a member of the nine-headed bird clan who died. It's none of our business. Let the nine-headed bird king have a headache. Many important figures of Dragonwood Planet appeared here. With their powerful intelligence network, they quickly learned the ins and outs of the matter. Some of the important figures wanted to personally apprehend the murderer and do the nine-headed bird king a favor. But no matter how he searched, he couldn't find any trace of Xia Ping. In the end, he couldn't be bothered to continue searching. After all, the Dragonwood secret realm was about to open. He didn't have time to waste here. At the same time, somewhere else on Dragonwood Planet, in the nine-headed bird clan's base. Damn it. A mere golden core realm bald donkey was able to destroy a strand of my consciousness. The nine-headed bird king sat upright on his throne with an extremely gloomy expression. No matter how he thought about it, he was unable to understand why a strand of his soul would actually be blasted apart by a tiny bald donkey at the golden core realm, and it was simply inconceivable. For a moment he wondered if he had lived for too long, causing his martial arts realm to regress. But when he carefully recalled Xia Ping's punch, that kind of power, that kind of fist energy, that kind of fist intent, they were all so tyrannical that it made one's hair stand on end, as if it was not a punch of the mortal world. The more he thought about it, the more he could sense the terror of this punch. The fist intent contained in it almost surpassed his current realm. This was a fist technique from another dimension. It was remarkable and unimaginable. Patriarch, what do we do now? Our young master has been killed and we have to avenge him. How dare a mere rogue cultivator from the Luo tribe attack the young master of our nine-headed bird tribe? How audacious of him. Immediately protest to the Luohan. Ask them to hand over the murderer who killed the young master and compensate for the losses. However, the other party is just a loose cultivator. Maybe the Luohan doesn't even know of his existence. That's impossible. The other party is the murderer who killed the young master and the others. He's definitely a monstrous genius of the Luohan clan, the kind that has been famous for a long time. It's impossible for him to be a nobody. That's right, his identity can't be hidden at all. Moreover, the murderer is currently staying on Dragonwood Star. Where can he run off to? One by one, the nine-headed bird elders shouted angrily. They too knew about the matter of Duanmu Kang's death. This matter was too big and could not be hidden at all. Moreover, a mere bald donkey from the Luohan clan had actually dared to start a massacre on Dragonwood Star, killing the young master and so many elites of the nine-headed bird tribe. This was practically a declaration of war against the nine-headed bird tribe. If they did not kill this bald donkey, who else would fear their nine-headed bird tribe in the future? Investigate. Investigate immediately. The nine-headed bird king shouted, mobilize the power of the entire tribe as well as the powers of other friendly tribes. Thoroughly investigate the entire Dragonwood Star. Carry out a carpet search, check every corner. I want this damned bald donkey Jr. to have no place on Dragonwood Star. I want him to not be able to eat well, not be able to sleep well, and live in fear. I want him to know the consequences of offending the nine-headed bird tribe. He gave the order to arrest Xiaoping on Dragonwood Star and kill him without mercy. Yes, Patriarch. The many nine-headed bird elders received the order and immediately mobilized all their forces. They put up wanted posters everywhere, and the entire planet was searching for Xiaoping. If anyone knew of Xiaoping's whereabouts or if they captured and killed him, they would receive a huge reward from the nine-headed bird tribe. Such a reward was enough to make countless life forms go crazy. At this moment, the entire Dragonwood Star was shaken because of this matter. Almost everyone knew about it. One day later, everyone on the streets and alleys of Dragonwood Star was discussing the nine-headed bird tribe's wanted poster. Countless people were discussing it. Have you heard? Recently, a powerful person from the Luohan clan appeared. He killed the nine-headed bird tribe's young master, Duanmu Kong, on Dragonwood Star. He is extremely savage. Even the dozens of elite guards by Duanmu Kang's side could not escape from his vicious hands. My God, he is so ruthless. Is he really from the Luohan clan? Could he be from the Azura clan? It's not that the Luohan clan is lenient and kind-hearted. If the Luohan clan were to fall, they would probably turn into a real demon, the kind with boundless demonic nature. I heard that the nine-headed bird king was enraged, and the entire tribe swore to hunt down the murderer. They are now conducting a carpet search and even issued a wanted poster. Whoever can capture the murderer will receive a huge reward. That's great. If I can capture the murderer, why the hell would I need to enter the Dragonwood secret realm? Just the rewards alone would be enough to benefit me for 1,000 years. That's easy for you to say. The murderer is also very savage and he is very good at hiding his tracks. I heard that dozens of Transcendence Realm experts on Dragonwood Star searched at the same time, but they couldn't find a single trace of him. That's right. If you're not strong enough, you'd better run away when you see the murderer, lest you become the next victim. Seems like the opening of the Dragonwood secret realm this time is going to be troublesome. What's the name of the murderer? I think he's called Unconquerable Wu. What an arrogant name. A bald donkey dares to come up with such a name. He is indeed extraordinary and arrogant. I'd like to meet him and see what kind of superhuman abilities he has. The crowd discussed fervently, trying to guess where this Unconquerable Wu came from and which genius disciple of the Luohan clan he was. The Luohan clan had also received the news, and they were even pressured by the nine-headed bird tribe. The problem was that the Luohan clan's territory was simply too vast, spanning over a dozen star fields. Within these star fields, there were countless planets with life. How could they find a single person? It was no different from searching for a needle in a haystack. Chapter 1601. There are wanted posters everywhere. Xiaoping turned into an ant and hid near a street. He spread out his divine sense and sensed the area within 1,000 miles, carefully listening to the news around him. He also knew that he had killed the young master of the nine-headed bird race, causing a huge uproar and enraging the nine-headed bird king. The entire planet was filled with wanted posters, swearing to capture him. Even the people on the streets were eager to find him and receive the huge reward from the nine-headed bird race. Unfortunately, they could not find him in the ant form. If he did not show up on his own, even a sage would not be able to find his whereabouts. However, he could not reveal his identity and would probably have to wait for the Dragonwood secret realm to open again. But it did not matter, it would not be long. Suddenly Xiaoping's eyes flashed. He sensed two familiar auras passing by. He looked up and immediately saw two beautiful figures walking by the side of the street. Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. He immediately recognized the two figures. They were Tu Linglong and Qing Wan, whom he had not seen for more than 2 years. Under normal circumstances, shouldn't the two of them be in the cloud world? Why would they appear in the Western universe and on Dragonwood Star at that? Did they also want to enter the Dragonwood secret realm? But why did they obtain the spirit talisman of the Dragonwood secret realm? For a moment he was very curious about this matter. After thinking about it, Xiaoping used his magic power to conceal his aura and immediately followed them. At this time, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan turned left and right and arrived at a nearby courtyard. It seemed that they had rented this courtyard and there was no one around. The two were very cautious. After sensing that no one was following them, they finally stepped into the courtyard and came to the living room, sitting down. They have grown quite a bit. Xiaoping naturally followed them in. When he came to their side, he saw that Tu Linglong and Qing Wan's cultivation had improved by leaps and bounds. They had actually reached the mid-stage of the treasure refining realm, which was completely different from when they were in the cloud realm. As expected, the two of them must have had a great fortuitous encounter. Aside from the massive improvements in their cultivation bases, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan's bodies had also matured significantly. They were around 7 to 8 centimeters taller than before, and their figures seemed to have become even hotter. This was especially true for Tu Linglong. She had a voluptuous figure that was extremely alluring. It was as if she had broken free from gravity. On the other hand, the green Wan had become even more tranquil and mature. She wore a green long dress and she was simply like a mature lady with supreme wisdom. She emitted a calm aura, and it seemed as if no matter what happened, she would not be able to waver in the slightest. It was even to the extent that he was able to sense that the bloodline of the Azure Phoenix was at least a few tens of times denser than before, and it was suffused with the aura of a divine beast. Every single move of hers was completely natural, as if an ancient Azure Phoenix had emerged into the world. It was the same for Tu Linglong. She seemed to have completely activated her space-time rabbit bloodline, and the aura of space emanating from her body had fused as one with the surrounding space. There were countless faintly discernible and transparent runes on the surface of her skin, forming a mysterious bloodline formation. Big Sister, the trial mission of the Dragonwood Secret Realm this time doesn't seem to be simple. According to the news I've heard in the past few days, it seems that geniuses from various powerful races of the Western cosmos have entered, and even Thunder Tribulation Realm experts have entered in search of fortuitous opportunities. Tu Linglong said, "With our current strength, it is simply too difficult to enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm to find the Dragonwood source. This mission is practically a suicide mission." She was extremely worried. "Don't worry. How can a trial mission issued by the demonic temple be a suicide mission? There will always be a chance," comforted the Green Wan. "Although there are many experts entering the Dragonwood Secret Realm this time, it's not like we don't stand a chance. Linglong, your spacetime rabbit bloodline allows you to control the power of space, and you can hide your aura at any time. You can escape into the void and even experts won't be able to find you. Furthermore, the power of my Azure Phoenix bloodline has also been completely activated. We have the attribute of luck, an absolute sixth sense, and an instinct to avoid life and death crises. With our strength, even if there are many experts in the Dragonwood Secret Realm, we will definitely be safe and sound. We might even be able to obtain some benefits." She was extremely confident in her and Tu Linglong's bloodline ability. Even if the Dragonwood Secret Realm was filled with dangers, as long as they were careful, they would definitely not be harmed. The attribute of luck? The Azure Phoenix bloodline. Xiaoping was also a little surprised. He also remembered that the Azure Phoenix was a divine beast that symbolized luck in ancient times. It was a legendary fantasy breed, and every living being that met the Azure Phoenix could fulfill their wishes. This was because this was one of the Azure Phoenix's origin powers. It could control the power of luck and it could avoid death, find precious treasures and fulfill all of its wishes. It was simply a child of luck favored by heaven and earth. In the legends, it was said that the Azure Phoenix would pick up treasures after falling off a cliff, and would be smashed with money the moment it stepped out. If someone wanted to deal with the Azure Phoenix and had evil intentions, the enemy would automatically be unlucky, and they would encounter countless disasters. In the past, the Azure Phoenix's bloodline was too thin, and it was unable to give birth to this ability. But after 2 years, it was obvious that the Azure Phoenix's bloodline was more than 10 times more concentrated, and this bloodline ability was completely activated. Now, with the addition of the Spacetime Rabbit's ability to escape into the void, it was likely that the two of them would be like fish in water in the Dragonwood Secret Realm. Sister Azure Phoenix is right. It seems that I don't have to worry about anything anymore. When I enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm and obtain a large amount of Dragonwood Source, I can continue to increase the power of the Spacetime Rabbit's bloodline. Tu Linglong suddenly became excited and she said proudly, "Haha, then I will master the power of spacetime and become a supreme divine beast." At that time, how could that despicable human Xiaoping be a match for this divine beast? Very soon, this divine beast will be able to capture him and beat him up. He will clean my toilet, pour my tea, wash my clothes and make my bed. She thought of the human Xiaoping she met in the heavenly realm. Although more than 2 years had passed, she still hated this bastard human to the core. This humiliation could not be washed away even by the waters of 3 rivers. It was because of this bastard that she fell into the demon temple, accepted the demon temple's inheritance, and went to various places in the universe to train and cultivate. Along the way they experienced a narrow escape from death and unimaginable trials in the heavenly realm. For example, they were thrown into a special secret realm that was full of wild beasts, and they were chased in that place for 100 years. They were thrown into a dark secret realm, where there was no daylight, and they lived there for 100 years. Or they stayed in a certain abyss world, where they were chased by abyss demon beasts and almost became food. Of course, the flow of time in these secret realms was much faster than that in the outside world. All in all, although only a little more than 2 years had passed in the outside world, they had cultivated in those secret realms for almost 300 years, and they had experienced countless hardships. Of course, every time they experienced hardships, her resentment towards Xiaoping grew stronger. In the end, they obtained a solid martial arts foundation, purified their bloodline, and raised their cultivation to the middle stage of the treasure refining realm, obtaining unimaginable combat power. Chapter 1602. Big Sister, if we return to Cloud World now, will that human be shocked to see us like this? Tu Linglong rolled her eyes and looked at the blue Luan. Of course. After all, Cloud World is too small. The strongest is only in the divine realm. The blue Luan said, only 2 years have passed. No matter how monstrous that human's talent is, it would be amazing if he could reach the fulfillment realm. Even if he exceeded our expectations and stepped into the divine realm. Compared to us who have reached the treasure refinement realm, the difference is like heaven and earth. She felt that no matter how strong that human was, reaching the divine realm was already amazing. It wasn't that she looked down on the human, but the resources in Cloud World itself limited the development of humans and monsters. No matter how monstrous their talent was, reaching the divine realm was the limit. If they wanted to evolve further, they had to leave Cloud World. However, they could only leave Cloud World with the help of the demonic temple. How could that human have a way? Perhaps he would continue to stay in Cloud World, unaware of the vastness of the universe. I think so too. If we return to Cloud World now, we will scare that shameless human to death. Tu Linglong nodded and said proudly. She seemed to have imagined this scene. She would return to Cloud World and see that despicable human Xiaoping again. That Xiaoping had no idea how terrifying she was, and still recklessly rushed forward, wanting to fight with her. Who would have thought that she was already different from before? With a palm strike, that human Xiaoping was sent flying, unable to resist at all. He fell to the ground and vomited blood, like a turtle flipping over, unable to get up no matter what. In the end, Xiaoping cried and apologized to her. I'm sorry, Lady Tu Linglong. This lowly one had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I didn't know that Lady Tu Linglong was so talented and strong. Now he actually dared to recklessly offend His Excellency. He truly deserved to die 10,000 times for his sins. I've done a lot of terrible things to Master Tu Linglong in the past, so I hope you can forgive me and spare my lowly life. Then she sneered and looked down. Humph, now you know that you are wrong and know to beg for mercy. Do you remember how you bullied this divine beast? You want me to forgive you? Stop dreaming. If you want this divine beast to spare you, it's very simple. In the future you will work like a cow or a horse for me and become my servant. Every day you will wash my clothes, fold my blankets, pour my tea and be on call. Also you will sleep in the cowshed and wear tattered clothes every day. Thank you, Lady Tu Linglong. I'm willing to be your slave for the rest of my life. It's my honor. Not only was that human Xiaoping not angry, he even shed tears of gratitude, believing that she, Tu Linglong, was lenient and merciful. From then on, she lived the life of a slave master who ordered this shameless human around. Thinking of this, Tu Linglong began to drool. She revealed a silly smile and was extremely excited. She wished she could immediately return to the Cloud World and show off in front of that shameless human. Little rabbit, what are you giggling about? All of a sudden a voice sounded. I'm not laughing foolishly. I'm just thinking about how I can order that despicable human around. Tu Linglong subconsciously replied. However, she soon realized that it wasn't the Green Phoenix's voice. She turned around and was instantly shocked. A strange man had appeared behind her. No, he wasn't strange at all. On the contrary, he was incomparably familiar and unforgettable. This was because this man was the despicable human, Xiaoping, whom she wanted to catch and beat up day and night. Xiaoping? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. She was dumbfounded. She didn't expect to meet Xiaoping in this place. What's going on? Why are you here? The Green Phoenix was also taken aback. Before Xiaoping appeared, she didn't sense any aura at all. Even the green phoenix's instinct for danger didn't sound out. It was as if she was completely fooled. This was the first time she encountered such a thing. Why are you here? It's simple. Because I also want to enter the Dragonwood secret realm. Xiaoping grinned. However, in Tu Linglong's eyes, this was the smile of a devil. It was a nightmare that had haunted her for many years. Shameless human, I finally meet you again. Now is the time for me to take revenge. She was first surprised, then confused, then excited and happy. Because seeing this human Xiaoping here, didn't it mean that she would have a chance to take revenge? Even the heavens wanted to fulfill her wish. How lucky was she? No, Linglong. The green phoenix wanted to stop Tu Linglong. She instinctively felt the power of Xiaoping's aura. It was like a mountain, huge and unshakable. She was no match for this human. But it was already too late because Tu Linglong had already kicked him away. Whoosh. The speed of this kick was unimaginably fast. It contained the power of space, causing ripples to appear in the surrounding space. It was extremely powerful. Moreover, it contained the power of the time-space rabbit's bloodline. The leg strength was also extremely terrifying. Even a 10,000-meter tall mountain would be easily crushed by it. Not to mention, this kick also contained the power of space. If it was an ordinary person, they wouldn't be able to withstand this kick at all. They would be easily sent flying. However, Xiaoping was no ordinary person. He was a golden core realm perfected being. He had once killed a returning truth realm mighty being. Although the power of Tu Linglong's kick was indeed great, unpredictable, and contained the power of space, it was still as slow as a snail under his divine sense. He raised his hand and patted down lightly. This palm instantly landed on Tu Linglong's right foot. Dong. In the next second, Tu Linglong's entire body was hit by an unparalleled terrifying power. She was instantly slapped to the ground, creating a deep pit that was several meters wide. The entire courtyard was shaking and shaking crazily. However, Xiaoping showed mercy. With Tu Linglong's divine beast physique, this power didn't hurt her body. She climbed out of the deep pit in an instant. How is this possible? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. Aren't you only divine power realm? How could he easily block my kick and even defeat it? She simply couldn't imagine that such a thing would happen. Divine power realm? I haven't been one for a long time. Xiaoping smiled, revealing his white teeth. At the same time, a terrifying aura erupted from his body. The faint shadow of a golden core appeared above his head. It spun and emitted a golden light. The aura condensed and materialized like a planet. Golden core realm. Tu Linglong sat on the ground in shock. She was dumbfounded and couldn't believe her eyes. This. Chapter 1603. Are you a monster? Why is your golden core so big? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. She knew about the golden core realm, but an ordinary golden core was only the size of a cobblestone, and a monster's was only the size of an egg. But what was going on with this bastard's golden core? It was 70 to 80 meters in diameter, like a meteorite. It was so big that it was scary. Was this still a golden core? Did he stuff a rock in it? If such a golden core was thrown out, how powerful would it be? Isn't it better for a man's things to be bigger? Big is good. Xiaoping said casually. Bah, pervert. Tu Linglong's pretty face suddenly turned red, and her beautiful eyes glared at Xiaoping. This bastard was still the same as before, so shameless. However, she found it unimaginable and couldn't believe it even now. This was because in order to advance to the treasure refinement realm, she had experienced countless dangers and had even cultivated in a secret realm for 300 years before she had her current achievements. Although as a divine beast, because of her long lifespan, her cultivation speed was originally slower than humans, but it shouldn't be this slow. 300 years, and this guy surpassed it in 2 years and also advanced to the golden core realm. Was he still human? She was so depressed that she wanted to vomit blood. Originally, she wanted to bully this bastard human and make him beg for mercy, but now she was bullied by this shameless human. It was too unfair. What kind of adventure did this guy go through all these years? Could it be more amazing than the adventure in the Demon Saint Temple? Wait, you appeared in this place. Are you the recently wanted monk, Wu Wudi? Suddenly, the Green Phoenix thought of something that everyone on the streets knew. Tu Linglong also came to her senses. According to this bastard's unscrupulous and lawless personality, it was very likely that this was done by this bastard. Although the portrait on the wanted poster was different from Xiaoping, there were countless secret techniques in the universe, and there were many ways to change one's appearance. Appearance was nothing at all. How is it possible? I am a good person, how can I be the wanted criminal? Wu Wudi? Xia Ping said righteously. Good my ass. If you were a good person there would be no bad people in the world. Tu Linglong said disdainfully. She was more and more certain that this was done by this bastard human. Since the Cloud Realm, there was nothing that this bastard human did not dare to do. Alright, I admit it. I was the one who did it. Yesterday I accidentally killed that 9-headed bird young master and ended up being wanted. I only wanted to send him to see Buddha and cleanse his sins. It's not a bad thing. Why would the 9-headed bird race chase after me? They don't have any magnanimity at all. Xia Ping shook his head and sighed. Qing Yuan was speechless. She had already killed his young master, yet she still didn't allow him to put a bounty on her. Just who was the one with no tolerance? However, she was also shocked because she had heard of the 9-headed bird young master's name. He was at least at the middle stage of the returning nature realm and was surrounded by countless elite guards. However, he was still killed by Xia Ping. One could imagine that Xia Ping's current combat strength was absolutely terrifying. This human was becoming more and more unfathomable after not seeing him for several years. Haha, so you did it? I'm going to expose you and get a huge reward from the 9-headed bird. Tu Linglong laughed heartily. If you don't want to be exposed, then listen to me obediently and become my subordinate. She was very proud because she thought that she had something on this despicable human. You still want to expose me? We are all accomplices. If you expose me, won't you all be finished as well? Xia Ping said with disdain. Bullshit, when did we become accomplices? Don't slander me and maliciously frame me. Tu Linglong was going crazy. Xia Ping said lazily, if I say so then so. How can there be such a good thing in this world? Of course, you can also clarify things with the 9-headed bird race and see if they believe you. This. Tu Linglong gritted her teeth. According to the thoughts of these major forces, they would naturally kill as many as they could. Who would listen to the thoughts of the weak? She had no background and no one to support her. Moreover, she didn't dare to bet that the 9-headed bird race would believe her words. Who would bet their lives on the hope that the other party wouldn't kill them? She was no longer that naive rookie from before. She knew the cruelty of the universe. Blackmail. You are clearly blackmailing us. You are forcibly blackmailing us. Tu Linglong was furious. If they got involved with this bastard, wouldn't they become wanted criminals as well? They would provoke the 9-headed bird race for no reason and become their mortal enemy. This was simply like a person sitting at home and the pot falling from the sky. They were obviously taking the blame for Xia Ping. They were extremely unlucky. Qing Yuan was also gnashing her teeth. She wanted to tear apart this shameless human's face. She had never seen such a shameless person. He actually wanted to drag a few people down with him after he died. He was simply a scourge. Moreover, he was the kind that harmed others and himself. He had nothing better to do all day and only knew how to cause trouble. He even liked to implicate others. Well, in short, let the three of us get along well. Who asked us to be the accomplices of the 9-headed bird young master? Moreover, you guys are the ones who plotted this in the dark, the real mastermind behind the scenes. The reason is that the 9-headed bird young master is shameless and lecherous. He once flirted with you on the street. As a result, you guys bore a grudge and sent me to kill the 9-headed bird young master. Xia Ping had already thought of 2 reasons for Tu Linglong and Qing Yuan to make a move. He put his arms around their slender waists and hugged them together. They looked like good brothers who would go through life and death with each other. Shameless human, who is the mastermind behind the scenes? Don't accuse others as you can. Tu Linglong was furious. She couldn't wait to punch this bastard human's face. Even though they hadn't seen each other for several years, this guy was still as annoying as before. Don't worry. I will go and spread the rumor later. I will say that the wanted criminal has accomplices and is the mastermind behind the scenes. I am very familiar with this matter. I guarantee that it will be done properly. Xia Ping said with a smile. Bastard. Qing Yuan gritted her teeth and clenched her fists. She felt that her state of mind, which was like an ancient pond, was broken. She gritted her teeth and had the urge to eat Xia Ping like a meat bun. Who didn't know this bastard's ability to spread rumors? He was used to it in the Cloud Realm. He was a habitual offender. What he liked to do the most was to fan the flames and sow discord. He was a proper treacherous official. The problem was that this bastard human's martial strength was a little abnormal. He was suspected to be an expert who could kill a returning nature realm expert. If they really fought, they would probably be at a disadvantage. Even if they couldn't kill a returning nature realm expert, They wouldn't be a match for him with the martial strength of the Golden Elixir realm. They could only suffer losses at every turn. They had worked so hard for so long just to take revenge on this human. Who would have thought that they would still be completely dominated by this human? Even now they had to help this bastard human take the blame. Was there still justice in this world? Why didn't the heavens send down a lightning tribulation to kill this scourge? Chapter 1604. Half an hour later, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong and Xian Luan reached an agreement, stating that they were a team for the time being and that they would get along well during the trip to the Dragonwood Secret Realm. They would not report Xia Ping and Xia Ping would not spread rumors and turn them into fugitives. Why did you come to the Dragonwood Secret Realm? Is it also for the Dragonwood Source? Xia Ping asked curiously, wanting to know their purpose. The Dragonwood Source is naturally our main goal this time. It contains pure energy and can purify the bloodline of the mythical beasts in our bodies. It is extremely beneficial. Xian Luan said, but that is only one of the main goals. After all, there are countless treasures in the Dragonwood Secret Realm, including some powerful treasures left behind by some martial arts masters, as well as 10,000-year-old spirit herbs. There are many benefits. Oh, it seems like you are very familiar with the Dragonwood Secret Realm. Tell me more. Xia Ping's eyes lit up. Although he knew some basic information about the Dragonwood Secret Realm, he did not know the specifics. You came to the Dragonwood Secret Realm without knowing anything? Tu Linglong understood what Xia Ping was trying to say. I knew there were treasures here, so I came. Wherever there are treasures in this world, Xia Ping, will be there. Xia Ping said carelessly. Tu Linglong was completely speechless at this thick-headed human. She had never met someone who liked to court death so much, daring to come here without knowing anything. Alright, since you don't know anything, I will tell you more about the Dragonwood Secret Realm. The Blue Phoenix was helpless. But now that they were all in the same boat, she could only let this bastard know some information about the Dragonwood Secret Realm. Otherwise, this bastard would go around looking for danger after entering the Dragonwood Secret Realm. She said in a low voice, the Dragonwood Secret Realm has existed since ancient times. It used to be a secret base of the dragon race, also known as Titania's Laboratory Number 32. What? Titania? Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He did not expect to hear Titania's name in this place. You know the mad scientist Titania of the dragon race? Xian Luan looked at Xia Ping. Xia Ping nodded and said calmly, yes, I have heard a little about her. I heard she is one of the 10 most wanted criminals in the universe. I see. The Green Phoenix did not suspect anything and continued, and this secret realm used to be Titania's secret laboratory. It said that she conducted extremely dangerous experiments here and created a terrifying monster, the kind that can't be killed. In the end, the sages found out about this laboratory. Dozens of sages joined forces with countless powerful beings and immediately tried to stop them. As a result, a world-destroying battle broke out between the two sides. That battle had been too tragic. Countless powerful beings had fallen in that battle, and even a few saints had died. However, Titania had still managed to escape. Furthermore, the monsters created in this laboratory were immortal existences that not even saints could kill. However, once they escaped from this place, they would bring disaster to the world. Thus, the Dragonwood Arcane Realm became the place where the monster was sealed. Every 100 years, the Arcane Realm would open its seal and invite experts from all over the universe to come and kill the spawn of the monster to weaken its power. Of course, this was also one of the gifts left behind by the sages. They hoped to use this secret realm to train their descendants and give countless creatures some opportunities to evolve. At this point, she paused and continued, however, even though Titania has left this secret realm, there are still many secrets hidden in this secret realm. There are many spatial strongholds hidden in the void that even saints can't find. There are even many powerful restrictions and killing arrays left in the secret realm. If not careful, even saints will be killed. That's why this place is filled with danger. It's said that there used to be a saint who wanted to explore this place, but he accidentally fell into a trap here and was instantly sent to the endless void by a large array. He hasn't returned to this day and no one knows if he's dead or alive. Her expression was solemn, indicating that the danger of this place was beyond imagination. After all, this was the lair of a terrifying wanted criminal who had once fought against a saint. Some of the methods left behind were extremely terrifying, and not something ordinary people could imagine. An immortal monster? What kind of monster is it? Xia Ping was very curious. Based on Titania's methods, it was probably an incredible monster. That's what I heard. the Cyan Phoenix said in a low voice. It said that she captured a Tao Tai and combined the power of the Tao Ye's bloodline with the power of the Sucking Blood clan's bloodline and the bloodlines of many wild beasts. As a result, she created an incredible monster. First of all, it has the characteristics of immortality and has no intelligence. Even if it's beaten into molecular form, it can absorb the power of the void to regenerate. Second, it has the terrifying infectiousness of the Sucking Blood clan, even amplified by thousands of times. Once it bites through the skin and infects you, you will immediately become its offspring and become a monster like this. This process is irreversible and incurable. The most shocking thing is that it also has the terrifying devouring ability of the Tao Tai. It's greedy and destructive. It can strengthen its body by devouring all kinds of substances without any bottlenecks and can constantly evolve. If this monster is allowed to grow, I'm afraid it will become something that can even kill saints in the future. It can even infect saints. There's no doubt that this is the ultimate monster that can destroy the universe. An interstellar version of Resident Evil? Xiaoping was shocked. Although he knew that Titania was a universe-level wanted criminal and extremely dangerous, he didn't expect her to be this dangerous. Something she made casually had the power to destroy the universe. No wonder so many saints were after her. This kind of scientific research ability was terrifying. Also, she didn't care about killing or burying people. After she made it, there were no countermeasures and a large group of saints had to clean up the mess for her. One could imagine the hatred and resentment many saints had for Titania. She was definitely an extremely dangerous saint who had the power to destroy the universe. What's the monster's name? Xiaoping asked. Zombie Beast. The Green Phoenix answered. One day later, Dragonwood Star started to tremble. One after another, great formations appeared in the sky, and the power of the void permeated the surroundings. Immediately, a gate appeared. The frame of the gate was engraved with dark golden patterns. It was mysterious and unfathomable. Behind the door, a mysterious world opened. The Dragonwood secret realm is open. It's finally starting. I've waited for 100 years. This time, I must go in and find the opportunity to break through. The door to the secret realm has been opened. Go in immediately before someone else gets the first prize. Chapter 1605. The Dragonwood secret realm is finally open. We must get our hands on the Dragonwood source this time. That's right. The Dragonwood source is extremely beneficial to the purification of our bloodline. We must not let it go. Anyone who dares to stop me will die. I will kill without mercy. There will be no mercy. Let's go. Don't let the others get ahead of us. On Dragonwood Star, the elites of the various races were discussing excitedly. Immediately, they channeled their powers into the Dragonwood Spirit Talisman and activated the internal formation of the talisman. In the next second, their bodies were surrounded by a ball of energy, and they were sucked into the space door. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Beams of light shot out from all directions and entered the space door of the Dragonwood secret realm. They were like hungry dogs fighting for food, afraid that someone else would get there first. Right now, in the base of the nine-headed bird tribe, many elders were gathered. Damn it. It's been 2 days and we still can't find any news of the culprit. They're all good for nothings. The nine-headed bird king was fuming. He had thought that the global bounty would definitely lead to the culprit's capture. But now there was no news of the culprit at all. It was as if the culprit had vanished into thin air. Leader, the culprit's concealment skills are top-notch. It's normal that we can't find him. That's right. But leader, you don't have to worry. The culprit must have come to Dragonwood Star to enter the Dragonwood secret realm. There's no way he'll give up on that. That's right. As long as he enters the Dragonwood secret realm, he'll definitely give himself away. That will be the day he dies. No one will be able to save him. The Dragonwood secret realm will be open for at least 3 months. Within 3 months, we'll definitely find the bald donkey. There's no way he'll be able to escape. He's dead for sure. Leader, let's hurry in. Even though finding the culprit is important, getting our hands on the Dragonwood source is equally important. If our enemies get their hands on a large amount of the Dragonwood source, we'll be doomed. We can't allow that to happen. Many of the nine-headed bird elders discussed among themselves. Forget it. We'll let the culprit live for now. Once I find him, no matter where he goes, I'll catch up and kill him. The nine-headed bird king coldly snorted and immediately activated the Dragonwood talisman. Although his son didn't have a Dragonwood spirit talisman as the clan leader, he still had 2 or 3 of them. After all, the Dragonwood Secret Realm was an extremely important treasure ground. There were a lot of treasures inside, and the clan's elite combat power had to be mobilized to ensure the harvest. In the Nine-Headed Bird clan, only those who were at least in the Transcendence Realm were qualified to enter. Even if Duanmu Kang's identity was honorable, he would not be able to do so. After all, he was only at the returning True Realm. Entering this secret realm could guarantee that he would not die, but it could not guarantee that he would be able to obtain great rewards. Therefore, those who entered the Dragonwood Secret Realm this time were basically all elders of the Nine-Headed Bird race, powerful existences above the Transcendence Realm. At this time, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong and Qing Wan, who were staying in the courtyard, naturally sensed the spatial gate in the sky and immediately knew that this was the time to enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm. In order to avoid being separated, Xia Ping didn't use his Dragonwood Spirit Talisman. Instead, the Blue Luan used her Dragonwood Spirit Talisman to wrap Xia Ping and Tu Linglong up and enter together. Whoosh! In just a few breaths' time, they had passed through the void and finally arrived at the Dragonwood Secret Realm. This is the Dragonwood Secret Realm? Xia Ping immediately realized that he had passed through the spatial gate and was randomly teleported to various corners of the Dragonwood Secret Realm. He, Tu Linglong, and the Blue Luan landed in a forest. This place was a forest that stretched as far as the eye could see. In the distance, there were mountains that rose and fell like giant dragons lying on the ground. Moreover, the air was filled with dense spiritual qi and the aura of a true dragon. With just a slight breath, one could feel that their body was being tempered by the dragon qi, and their flesh and blood were slowly becoming stronger. That's right, no wonder there's dragon qi here. This used to be the place where the true dragon lived, so it's only natural that there's dragon qi here. Xia Ping also immediately remembered that this was Titania's laboratory number 32, the place where the dragon sage once lived. It was only natural that there would be a large amount of dragon qi here. Let's head north, there might be a dragonwood source there. The Blue Luan spoke. She activated her bloodline ability, and her sixth sense told her that if they headed north, they might be able to obtain great benefits. Wait, there seems to be a treasure here. Xia Ping waved his hand, and his divine sense scanned the surroundings, penetrating the void like purple lightning. He could sense that there seemed to be a powerful magic treasure hidden in the void nearby. He gathered his divine sense and immediately saw the void at the top of a small mountain in the distance. There seemed to be a magic treasure hidden in there, and it was exuding a powerful aura. It was a cauldron that was emerald green in color. There were dense runes engraved on its surface, and it was surrounded by crimson flames like a blazing sun. A supreme spirit artifact. This was definitely a supreme spirit artifact, second only to a sage artifact. Magic treasures of this level were also known as half-step sage artifacts because they had the potential to become sage artifacts. Master, this is the true Sun Copper Cauldron, a famous supreme spirit artifact for alchemy. The green ox also sensed the waves emitted by this magic treasure, and its tone was very excited. If I can obtain this alchemy magic treasure, I will definitely be able to concoct even more supreme-grade medicinal pills. I can even use it to cook food, turning the ingredients into real medicinal cuisine, and the medicinal effects will increase by at least 30%. I must obtain this magic treasure. There will be endless benefits for me. The true Sun Copper Cauldron. Xia Ping's eyes brightened. He didn't think that he would have the chance to obtain a supreme spirit artifact so soon after entering the Dragonwood Secret Realm. This supreme spirit artifact's appearance would probably make even those in the Thunder Tribulation Realm go crazy. But before he could act, a group of people suddenly appeared beside him. They were the elites of the Western Universe's White Tiger race, and their leader was a young expert of the White Tiger race, Hu Rong, who was in the middle stage of the returning reality realm. Other than that, there were more than 10 elites of the White Tiger race beside him, and they were all at least in the Golden Core realm. There were also 6 or 7 young experts of the returning reality realm. Look, there's a strange spatial wave here. My God, there's a supreme spirit artifact here. We've only just entered the Dragonwood Secret Realm, and I didn't expect to have such a miraculous encounter. Our luck is really too good. The heavens are indeed blessing the White Tiger race. It's time for our White Tiger race to shine like the sun in the sky. Let's do it, refine this magic treasure. The experts of the White Tiger race were all extremely excited as they attacked one after another. With one punch, the supreme spirit artifact, the true Sun Copper Cauldron, which was hidden in the void, appeared. Chapter 1606. It was obvious that the power of the Sun True Bronze Cauldron had been completely activated. It grew to a height of 100 meters like a small mountain. It floated in the air, emitting endless flames that burned fiercely. These were flames that came from the essence of the sun. They were very powerful. Cultivators with low cultivation could not even get within 30 meters of it. Otherwise they would be burned to ashes. It was an ultimate spiritual weapon. It was not an inanimate object. It had a very strong spiritual nature, like a life of its own. It was basically impossible for ordinary cultivators to tame it. Haha, an ultimate spiritual weapon has appeared here. We are so lucky. The Sucking Blood clan is in luck today. At that moment, the vibration of the ultimate spiritual weapon shook the area, attracting the attention of a force in the distance. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The group of people appeared immediately. They had a pair of black wings on their backs, fangs in their mouths, and were wearing black suits. They were the famous Sucking Blood clan of the Western universe. It was said that they lived by sucking blood. If they could absorb the blood of a powerful creature, their strength would increase dramatically, and their potential would increase. This made them a terrifying killing clan in the Western universe. The elite Sucking Blood clan was not weak either. The leader was a powerful vampire in the middle stage of the returning nature realm called Raj. He had a dozen companions with him. They were no weaker than the White Tiger clan. Raj, this peerless great spirit weapon was discovered by my White Tiger race. It's a treasure that belongs to my White Tiger race. Scram immediately, don't force me to flip out. Hurong shouted angrily, warning this group of vampires. He obviously knew this vampire called Raj. After all, those who entered the Dragonwood secret realm were all elites of the Western universe. They had been dealing with each other for a long time. It was impossible for them not to know each other. Hurong, it's not that you're amazing just because you speak loudly. Your White Tiger clan is the first to discover this magic treasure. I even said that this magic treasure was left behind by my ancestor. If you want to snatch this magic treasure, you have to rely on your own ability. Don't blabber here, your White Tiger clan won't just talk, right? Raj sneered. Raj, I'm giving you face but you don't want it, do you? You dare to snatch the magic treasure in front of my White Tiger clan? This is stealing food from the tiger's mouth, seeking your own death. Hurong bellowed and immediately attacked the vampire Raj. Rumble, the two sides immediately engaged in a fierce battle, blasting out thousands of killer moves. They collided with each other in the air, causing a series of explosions, causing the surrounding mountains to collapse. All of them wanted to seize the Sun True Copper Cauldron, but both sides were evenly matched, mutually restraining each other. No one could seize the upper hand. They fought until the heavens collapsed and the earth split apart, both of them truly angry. In the distance, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and the Azure Luan witnessed the scene as well. Let's hurry up and escape. The other party has the advantage in numbers. We won't be able to obtain this magic treasure. The Green Luan said calmly. She had weighed the strength of both sides. There was no way they could snatch food from the tiger's mouth. Even though she wanted to get her hands on that supreme great spirit weapon, she knew that with her current strength, there was no way she could go against this group of powerful beings. Therefore she could only choose to give up. I'm warning you, don't seek death. These are two great races of the Western cosmos and they have countless elites. Tu Linglong looked at Xia Ping vigilantly. If we provoke them, it's like poking a beehive. We have to be careful and keep a low profile during this trip to the Dragonwood secret realm. Don't cause any trouble. It's best if we become invisible and sneak away with the Dragonwood source. Is there such a thing? Isn't that very interesting? Xia Ping's eyes lit up. That bastard. Tu Linglong was so angry that she almost choked on her breath. This guy was indeed up to no good, and he was the kind of person who wanted to see the world in chaos. At this moment, another force charged out from the east. All of you scram. This magic treasure will be taken by the Elephant Clan. Anyone who dares to stand in our way will be killed without mercy. Immediately, a giant elephant stepped out from the void. He looked like a human and was 5 meters tall. He had thick arms and legs, but his trunk was an elephant's trunk. Dense runes appeared all over his body, and he exuded the aura of the mountain gang. He held a giant axe in his hand. That was the supreme great spirit weapon of the Elephant Clan, heaven-splitting axe. Boom, the axe descended from the sky. One after another, runes came crashing down, converging into a terrifying black light that seemed as if it was going to split the sky in half. Damn it. This is Xiang Tao, a master of the Elephant Clan. He was born with extraordinary strength. We can't fight him. Retreat. The masters of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan all turned pale when they saw Xiang Tao. They felt an unparalleled force coming toward them. Together with the power of the supreme great spirit weapon, the heaven-splitting axe, it was enough to kill a master at the returning nature realm. This was an unstoppable force. The two forces didn't dare to take it head-on. They quickly retreated and ran far away to avoid it. Dong! The black light came crashing down. The earth was torn apart immediately, and a crack that was thousands of miles long appeared. Along the way, thousands of mountains were torn apart, as if the mountain had been split in half. There was even a terrifying sharp aura around the crack. It seemed as if swords and knives were colliding. Cultivators with low cultivation would be torn apart by the light of the giant axe in an instant. Damn it! The supreme grade spirit weapon of the Elephant Clan is in Xiang Tao's hands. How did he get it? This won't do. Xiang Tao's bloodline is amazing, and he was born with extraordinary strength. He is invincible among his peers. Together with the supreme grade spirit weapon, the heaven-splitting axe, he is invincible. He can kill anyone who stands in his way. This is too overbearing. He alone can force our two clans to retreat? We have no choice but to retreat. Now Xiang Tao is sure to win. If we fight him here, it will be a life-and-death battle. It will be a waste of our combat power. How can we get the dragonwood source? Damn it! Looks like we have to avoid him for now. We can't fight him to death here. This boorish man is lucky. It doesn't matter. There are so many treasures in the dragonwood secret land. There can't be only one supreme grade spirit weapon. There will be more benefits later. The elite warriors of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan looked awful. Facing the wild elephant wave, they had to temporarily avoid it and choose to endure it. Get out of here. Do you want to die? Do you want to be killed by my axe? Xiang Tao was extremely overbearing. He immediately told the two clans to get out. Hearing that, the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan flew into a rage. They wanted to fight Xiang Tao. They would rather die than be humiliated. If they retreated here, they would become a laughingstock in the future. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, right at that moment, many strong auras came from afar. The earth shook. Many strong fighters of the Elephant Clan came at the same time. There were at least a dozen of them. The appearance of those strong fighters of the Elephant Clan immediately extinguished the desire of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan to fight. With those strong fighters of the Elephant Clan there, they had no hope of winning. Ah, this true sun bronze tripod is mine. With these two supreme grade spirit weapons, I can do whatever I want in the Dragonwood secret land as long as I don't run into some old monsters. Xiang Tao laughed. He reached out his hand trying to take the tripod away. Whoosh. Chapter 1607. Bastard, this guy really jumped out. I knew he was unreliable and always stirred up trouble. Seeing Xia Ping jump out, Tu Linglong was furious. But why did he turn into a bald donkey? Right, this guy is doing bad things. He is afraid that his identity will be discovered, so he changed his identity. What a shameless human being. How could he do such a thing? Apparently, she noticed that Xia Ping looked completely different from before. He had completely turned into a bald donkey of the Luohan people. What a powerful disguise. I can't see anything wrong with him. Xian Wan was amazed. She had the Xian Wan eyes which could see through the illusions of the world. Ordinary secret skills could not fool her. However, she still couldn't see through Xia Ping's disguise with her Xian Wan eyes. If she hadn't known that this guy was Xia Ping, she would have thought it was someone else. She wouldn't have associated it with Xia Ping at all. Whatever disguise he used, this bastard human is stirring up trouble here. We'd better run away quickly in case we get into trouble and get chased by these angry people. Tu Linglong was worried that if they waited any longer, they would also become accomplices and be chased by the enemies. Don't worry. If this human dares to go out, he must be confident. Let's wait and see. Xian Wan was not in a hurry. She planned to wait and see. She thought Xia Ping was not such a stupid human being. He knew the situation was dangerous, but he still went out to die. She guessed that this human being was completely confident, which was why he dared to do this. She wanted to know what other trump cards Xia Ping had. Who is it? How dare you take food from the tiger's mouth in front of me? Do you want to die? At this time, Xiang Tao also noticed Xia Ping's appearance. He shouted angrily. He had used the power of the peerless spiritual weapon Sky-Opening Axe to split the ground, tear apart the 100,000 mountains, and intimidate the White Tigers and the Sucking Blood clan. He thought he could monopolize this peerless spiritual weapon, the Sun Copper Cauldron. He didn't expect that someone would dare to stand out and take food from the tiger's mouth at this time. This was outrageous. If he didn't kill a few people, couldn't he show the terror and strength of the elephant clan? Please calm down, benefactor. I have no choice but to come out now. Xia Ping clasped his hands in front of him and said, "This peerless spirit weapon, the true Sun Copper Cauldron, is an extremely valuable treasure of our Buddhist sect. It was stolen from our treasury and was stolen by a thief. Since it is fated with the Buddhist sect, I have come here to retrieve it. I hope that benefactor can make things easier for me." He had a compassionate expression on his face. He didn't look like he was here to rob, but to beg for alms and take back what belonged to him. Hearing this, Xiang Tao was so angry that he laughed. Buddhist supreme treasure? This solar true bronze cauldron is a peerless spirit artifact. It was once the life-bound treasure of an alchemy grandmaster. It does not have the slightest aura of a Buddhist treasure. You actually have the nerve to say that it came from the Buddhist sect's treasury and that it is fated with the Buddhist sect? I'm fated with your 18 generations of ancestors. Do you still have any shame? Almsgiver, you're mistaken. Xia Ping's expression was still calm and unfathomable. The word fate is very mysterious. It represents cause and effect, and every cause has its effect. Didn't you and I meet because of fate? This poor monk knows a thing or two about divination. This item has an ominous omen, and if you try to snatch it away there will be a bloody calamity. This is an ominous item and ordinary people shouldn't touch it. It's better for you to hand it over to this poor monk and refine it day and night to eliminate its evil nature. He was trying to dissuade the other party out of goodwill. Bloody calamity? Bloody my ass. Anyone who dares to fight with my elephant clan for treasures can only die. If it's an enemy there will be a bloody calamity, but we definitely won't. Bald donkey, you actually dare to speak alarmist words here? Looks like you're courting death. Xiang Tao's expression turned savage, and he wanted to kill Xia Ping with his axe. Almsgiver, this item is not fated with you. Why must you force it? Xia Ping sighed. As the saying goes, karma is born, karma is destroyed. Those who are not fated will never be able to obtain it no matter what. Almsgiver, you should just let it go. Drop the butcher's knife and you will become a Buddha. Drop your ass. Take my axe and don't die. Xiang Tao was infuriated, and he couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with this bald donkey. The heaven-splitting axe slashed down from the sky, and a terrifying black axe light descended, tearing everything in its path. Almsgiver, if you want to kill, you will be punished by heaven. Why do you have to do this? Xia Ping sighed. He operated the divine elephant breathing technique. His blood was boiling, and his heart was beating like a war drum, making elephant trumpeting. It was as if a divine elephant was born in his body. He suddenly raised his hand. It was as if a divine elephant's giant hand had reached out, and it condensed in the air. It turned into a giant dark golden hand, which had many mysterious formations on it, containing the divine elephant's aura. Dong. The palms slapped hard on the black axe light. It was obvious that the axe was unstoppable, and it could split the 100,000 mountains in half. The elites of the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan were so scared that they fled. However, facing this palm, the axe could not break it. It was as if it had encountered a strong obstacle. No matter how hard it tried, it could not break through the giant palm's power. It even vaguely felt a terrifying counterforce, which made Xiang Tao's hand go numb. Impossible. You are just a bald donkey from the Luohan clan. How can you know the elephant clan's martial arts? You seem to have the divine elephant's power. Where on earth did you learn it? Xiang Tao was extremely shocked because he felt a pulse in his bloodline from Xia Ping. It seemed that the bloodline of the ancient divine elephant clan had been revived and was about to rule the world. Sensing this aura, he was so scared that his legs almost turned to jelly. He almost prostrated on the ground. He was no match for Yi Futian. Our Buddhist martial arts have the power to subdue dragons and subdue elephants. The elephant clan's martial arts are nothing. Why don't we call it quits? I will take this magic treasure back to the Buddhist clan to purify the evil qi. When the evil qi is purified, I will bring it back to you, Xia Ping suggested. Bring it back? Do you think I can get it back if you really take it away? This is like throwing a meat bun at a dog. It will never come back. Do you think the elephant clan is stupid? Do you think we will believe you just because you said a few words? An elite of the elephant clan cursed loudly. He had seen through Xia Ping's shameless trick. Tu Linglong and Cyan Luan were speechless when they saw this. This bastard human was really all-pervasive, trying to take advantage of others. He had almost tricked them into taking a magic treasure. If this bastard had really taken away the supreme rank spirit tool, it would have been impossible for him to return it. Don't play dumb here. I know all the Buddhist clan's martial arts very well. There is no martial art as powerful as this one that can evolve the divine elephant's power. Xiang Tao's eyes lit up. I can feel that your martial arts are of great benefit to the elephant clan. It is an opportunity for me to evolve. It is a fortuitous encounter. When I capture you and interrogate you about the martial arts, you will know how powerful it is. He felt that his opportunity to break through had come. As long as he could capture this bald donkey and interrogate him about the elephant clan's martial arts, he would definitely obtain endless benefits. Advancing to the Transcendence realm would also be just around the corner. Everyone, let's attack together and help me capture this bald donkey alive. Chapter 1608. The elites of the elephant clan looked at each other and moved immediately. They spread out and formed a formation. Xiang Tao was in the center of the formation. Terrifying mana gathered around him. Rumble, suddenly Xiang Tao's body swelled up and turned into a giant elephant. He was hundreds of meters tall and looked like a towering mountain. It was as if the god of the elephant clan had appeared. A slight movement from him could cause earthquakes and landslides. Every inch of his muscles was filled with explosive power that could shatter stars. Retreat. Retreat. Xiang Tao is going crazy. Xiang Tao is crazy. He is using the ultimate meaning of the mountain-splitting axe of the elephant clan, sky-splitting kill. He can't use a secret skill like this with his current level of cultivation. It's because he can't use it that he needs more than a dozen elites of the elephant clan to provide him with mana. This is a sure kill move. To think that in order to kill off a bald monk, he would spare no expense and expend all of his powers just to capture him alive. Just what sort of treasure does this bald monk have on him that he would be willing to disregard everything like that? I don't know. Retreat now. This move doesn't differentiate between friend and foe. If we stay here we will be killed as well. We might be seen as enemies and killed by the axe. The elites of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan were shocked. They discussed and felt great danger. They quickly retreated more than a dozen miles to avoid the aftermath of the battle and to avoid being involved in the intense vibrations. Thy bald ass! Xiang Tao roared. He infused his mana into the sky-splitting axe and activated the countless formations on it. Suddenly, a terrifying aura filled the air and crushed the sky. He swung the axe at Xia Ping. It was as if Panga was alive. The mountains around him collapsed and the ground cracked. All the energy within 1,000 miles was shaken away, forming a vacuum. The sky-splitting kill rolled. Under the axe, the mana condensed into one black mark after another. It was as if the sky was being torn apart. It was extremely sharp. These black marks intertwined with each other and formed a huge net of death. When it came down, it could destroy the sky and the earth. This was a sure kill move. There was no chance of survival. Not bad. Xia Ping's eyes shone brightly. His body trembled and all the magic power in his body surged out. With his body as the center, a terrifying energy field was created. The heavens shook and the earth shook, expelling everything. The area within a radius of several kilometers quickly calmed down due to his aura fluctuations. Black Vortex Ripple Fist. This was a supreme killer move that Xia Ping had created after comprehending the Saint Tier ultimate technique Profundity Spiral. After he advanced to the Golden Core realm, his comprehension towards this martial technique had become even deeper, and it had attained the acme of perfection. Rumble, he punched out, causing ripples to appear in the void. A nebula vortex spun wildly, containing the power to strangle, devour, and penetrate. Under such a vortex, it was as if a terrifying black hole had formed. This was a cosmic marvel that would only appear when a star collapsed and a neutron star exploded. It contained the true essence of the universe and supreme mysteries. Indistinctly, the nebula vortex spun unceasingly, encompassing everything. It was as if the universe was revolving with yin and yang, the 5 elements, earth, wind, water, fire, and other powers appearing one after another. Circles of ripples appeared in the void within a radius of 1,000 kilometers like flowing water, affecting the void. The power of the tremors was extremely terrifying, as if it could destroy everything. In the blink of an eye, the nebula vortex smashed towards Xiang Tao. When Xiang Tao's sky-splitting kill collided with the black vortex ripple fist, it immediately caused a terrifying storm that swept through a radius of 1,000 kilometers. The surrounding cultivators' hair stood on end, and they all retreated 100 kilometers. If not for that, just the aftermath alone would have been enough to severely injure them. Tu Linglong and Qing Wan saw that the situation was not good, so they slipped away in advance, fleeing 100 kilometers away. Dong. A single collision determined the victor. Xiaoping retreated more than 10 kilometers, his body enduring the violent tremors and the attack. However, with his divine beast-like physique, he was unharmed. However, it was different for Xiang Tao. His body was not as strong as Xiaoping's. After suffering such an impact, his body flew back like a cannonball, tumbling in midair. He could not even hold the sky-splitting axe in his hand. His hand went numb and it fell to the ground just like that. He could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood, which splattered all over the ground. Moreover, because Xiang Tao was defeated, the array formation was broken. The dozen or so elephant race experts also suffered the backlash of the array formation, and a violent yuan qi storm instilled into their bodies. One by one, the elephant race experts let out shrill screams and spat out a large mouthful of blood. They retreated repeatedly, heavily injured on the spot, and smashed into the ground, creating huge craters. They looked at Xiaoping in horror. They did not expect that the dozen or so elephant race experts working together could not withstand a single blow from this guy. Just what was this bastard's background? Why did he have such martial strength that they had never heard of? No way Xiang Tao was actually defeated? In the distance, Leiji, Hu Rong and the others were dumbfounded. They could not imagine such a thing happening. The famous Xiang Tao and the dozen or so elephant race experts had actually been defeated so easily. If word of this got out, it would definitely shake the Western cosmos. Hu Rong, Leiji, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and capture this bald donkey. At that moment, Xiang Tao shouted angrily, if you are willing, I, Xiang Tao, am willing to give up the ownership of the Sun True Bronze Cauldron and hand it over to you. I, Xiang Tao, will even owe you a favor. I will repay you generously in the future. He shouted at the elites of the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan, stated his conditions and lowered his head. What? Xiang Tao actually put down his pride and asked us for help? That's unheard of. It's really rare. It's not as simple as asking for help. According to the overbearing nature of the elephant race, he is willing to give up the Sun True Bronze Cauldron. It seems that this bald donkey has put a lot of pressure on Xiang Tao. This is a worthwhile deal. Not only can we get the Sun True Bronze Cauldron, but we can also gain the friendship and favor of the elephant race. This is a great benefit. Even an ultimate spiritual artifact may not be as good as this. Good. This is great. We have a chance to establish a relationship with the elephant race and become allies. This is a good deal. Moreover, this bald donkey seems to have a big secret on him, which even the elephant race covets. If we can capture him alive, I think we can also get a share of the pie. The benefits are endless. Let's do it. Kill this bald donkey. Hu Rong and Leiji were communicating with each other through divine awareness. They kept discussing the pros and cons of this matter. Soon they made the decision to kill this mysterious monk. Because this mysterious monk was the biggest threat to them, and he had a lot of secrets on him. If they killed this guy, they could get great benefits. There was no reason not to make this deal. Chapter 1609. They joined forces? Xiaoping frowned. He didn't expect that the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan would be persuaded by the Elephant clan to attack him at the same time. Of course, with his strength he was not worried about the threat of these enemies. However, it was difficult to annihilate this group of enemies with his current martial arts magic power. He might have to expose his original martial arts magic power. If someone were to investigate further, his true identity might be exposed. It seems that I have to learn a Buddhist magic power to cover up my martial arts. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. For ordinary people, it was impossible to learn a Buddhist magic power in a short time. However, he had the system's enlightenment. This was not a big deal. As long as he had enough hatred, he could learn it in an instant. It would not take too much effort. System, provide me with a powerful Buddhist mystic art. Xiaoping said to the system. Yes, host, there are a total of 933 Buddhist magic powers. Among them, the most suitable one should be this Buddhist attack magic power, Great Compassion and Mercy Palm, one of the 72 Buddhist unique skills. It requires 500 million hatred points. The system's voice came out. Exchange now. Xiaoping did not hesitate. He had billions of hatred points and spending 500 million hatred points was nothing at all. Rumble, as soon as the voice fell, a vast amount of information was immediately instilled into Xiaoping's mind. Endless Buddhist martial arts information poured in, quickly gathered, and then condensed into a magic talisman, golden all over. In the depths of the talisman, there seemed to be a phantom of a Buddha, holding an orchid in his hand, exuding the aura of great compassion and mercy, but at the same time, it also contained a terrible evil spirit, like a dragon arhat. Xia Ping suddenly understood this Buddhist martial arts magic power and understood the fierceness of this martial arts. It was worthy of being one of the 72 Buddhist unique skills. What was compassion? For different people, compassion had different meanings. For killers, the greatest compassion was to let the enemy die painlessly, not even knowing how they died. This was the compassion of killers. Martial arts itself was the way to kill the enemy. No matter what name it was given, it could not get rid of the feeling of killing the enemy. Even Buddhist martial arts, which were known to save all living beings, were the same. On the other hand, the compassionate and compassionate palm was a supreme palm technique that killed enemies. A single palm strike was capable of delivering all living beings from suffering, and the light of Buddha illuminated the world, causing enemies to die unknowingly. It was matchlessly ferocious. In the name of mercy, it allowed the enemy to die painlessly. This was the mercy of Buddha. While Xia Ping was trying to comprehend the mysteries of the merciful and compassionate palm, the elites of the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan attacked him together and performed thousands of killing moves. Die, bald donkey. Watch my White Tiger Gung Metal Sword Chi. Hu Rong roared explosively, unleashing the White Tiger clan's supreme sword move, White Tiger Gung Metal Sword Chi. This was the terrifying sword chi that their Western White Tiger absorbed, fused into their bodies and tempered day and night to refine. This sword chi was unstoppable. Hu Rong was not the only one who understood this unique skill. The dozen or so White Tiger clan experts beside him had completely mastered this unique skill of the sword Dao, and terrifying Gung Metal Sword Chi blasted out. Xiao xiao xiao. Beams of golden sword light rushed over. Thousands of lights were like roaring white tigers, tearing the void and forming a huge sword formation. This was a supreme killing move that could destroy heaven and earth. Let's do it together. Set up the Taiyin blood killing formation. Raj also roared at the dozen or so elites of the Sucking Blood clan around him. They joined hands to set up the Taiyin blood killing formation. He bit his finger and spat out the essence blood in his body. The other dozen or so elites of the Sucking Blood clan did the same thing and spat out a lot of blood all at once. The blood sprinkled in the void as if it had come to life and had its own consciousness. It kept wriggling and automatically condensed into many blood-red lines in the void, forming a heaven and earth formation that covered a radius of 1,000 miles. When this great formation was formed, endless evil blood chi and Taiyin chi in the depths of the void gathered in the center of the formation. Its momentum was also rising and rising. Dong. Just as the baleful blood chi in the formation condensed to the extreme, the boundless baleful blood chi condensed into a huge blood-red sword. Dense blood-red runes appeared on the surface of the sword, wriggling like a dragon. It emitted a powerful aura that contained the power of destruction, corrosion, infection, chaos, and so on. This was the Taiyin blood-killing sword formed by the formation. It contained strong power and was indestructible. If one was hit by this giant blood-red sword, one would be attacked by the evil blood chi immediately. It was estimated that the enemy would be frozen into an ice sculpture in an instant. Their lungs would be injured, and their bodies would be corroded quickly as if they had been hit by sulfuric acid. This was an extremely vicious move. The forces of the two clans attacked at the same time, attacking Xia Ping together. Merciful and compassionate palm. At the moment when the attack was about to reach him, Xia Ping finally mastered this Buddhist palm technique. His body emitted a dazzling golden light. Like a Buddha descending, he punched out with his palm. Suddenly, many swastikas appeared in the air and gathered in the center of the giant palm, forming many heaven and earth formations. The shadow of a Buddha vaguely appeared in the center of the giant palm. When this palm was punched out, Sanskrit chants came from the depths of the void, shaking heaven and earth. Dong. First, the Gung Metal Sword Chi of the White Tiger clan was shattered by this palm in an instant. Clanging sounds rang out as if many precious swords had been shattered. They could not withstand such a shocking force. Then the Taiyin blood-killing sword of the Sucking Blood clan tried to cut the giant golden palm. However, the killing sword emitted a dazzling Buddhist light, which dispelled the evil. When it touched the Taiyin blood-killing sword, it melted quickly like snow meeting fire, making sizzling sounds. In just a few breaths, the Taiyin blood-killing formation was broken. What kind of Buddhist magic is this? How is this possible? Just one palm strike was enough to break our divine ability formation? Damn it. This bald ass's combat capability is extraordinary. This time we've run into a tough one. Both Leiji and Hu Rong were shocked. The elites of the two clans had joined hands to attack this guy, but he had easily blocked their attacks and turned them into nothingness. This was too exaggerated. Especially the elites of the Sucking Blood clan, they could feel that Xia Ping's martial arts magic had a great restraining effect on dark creatures with Yin attributes like them. It was like they were natural enemies. Under the illumination of the Buddha's light, it would be amazing if they could exert 70% of their strength. As the Buddha's light weakened, they were completely at a disadvantage. The elites of the two clans joined hands and still couldn't kill him? When Xiang Tao and the other elites of the Elephant clan saw this, they could not help but be shocked. They had thought that the two clans would be able to capture Yi Futian easily. They did not expect such an unimaginable situation to occur. All of a sudden they wanted to retreat. Such a terrifying Luohan warrior would not be so easy to kill. Chapter 16:10. Looks like all of you have already entered the path of the devil. If you don't get purified by the Buddha, you won't be able to turn back. Xia Ping looked at the elites of the three races and had a compassionate expression on his face. Don't worry, I will set all of you free now and let you enter the pure land of ultimate bliss. This is also the mercy of the Buddha. Boom! The moment his words landed, he slapped out another palm. It was the merciful palm of the Buddhist sect. But the power of this palm was more than 10 times more terrifying than before. Because he circulated the divine elephant breathing technique, his body contained the power of the divine elephant. Then he used the merciful palm. The power of the two merged and created a chemical effect. The power of the palm received a terrifying increase. It couldn't be compared to before. Damn it, this bald donkey dares to kill us. Hu Rong of the White Tiger race was shocked because this palm was obviously targeted at him. It slapped down towards the elites of the White Tiger race. It was ferocious and had endless killing intent. They could feel the terror of this palm. The giant golden palm was condensed with densely packed Buddhist runes. When combined together, it was like a Buddhist scripture that contained supreme power. The giant golden palm smashed down like the strike of the Buddha, destroying the world and suppressing the heavens. They couldn't resist it at all. But when they tried to dodge, suddenly the aura of the giant golden palm spread out in the surroundings. A wave of Buddhist aura instantly entered the depths of their consciousness. At this moment, their souls and consciousness were taken away. Their bodies felt warm as if their souls had left their bodies and entered the pure land of ultimate bliss. An ethereal voice rang out in the depths of their minds, "Silly child, let it go, let it go. Only by letting it go can we escape from the sea of bitterness, away from our worries and become a Buddha." This was the voice of the Buddhist sect scripture. It was like the sound of the morning bell and the evening drum. It rang out and seeped into their souls. Right, we have to let it go. What success, what wealth and glory, they are all just illusions. After death we are just a cup of dust, a set of bones. Everything in the past is just like smoke. Then what are we fighting for? What is there to fight for? There is no point at all. Numerous elites of the White Tiger clan felt as if they'd been filled with wisdom, and they'd obtained the guidance of a senior monk. They'd attained great enlightenment, and only by letting go of the obsessions in their hearts would they be able to escape the sea of bitterness and attain enlightenment. Under the envelopment of this golden Buddhist aura, they felt that their hearts had obtained an unprecedented sense of fullness, as if a missing piece of their hearts had been filled, and they had obtained endless satisfaction. No. Hu Rong's spiritual power far surpassed that of his peers. He also felt as if he was about to sink into oblivion and ascend to the pure land of ultimate bliss, but under the reminder of the life and death crisis of the cells in his body, he woke up with a start all of a sudden and broke away from the Buddha light transformation. However, it was already too late for him to realize this. As this palm smashed over, the world within a radius of 100 miles trembled. Hundreds of thousands of times of resonance produced an extremely powerful destructive force that bombarded the group of White Tiger race elites. Dong. Hu Rong and the other elites of the White Tiger clan didn't even have the time to let out a scream before they were instantly turned into a ball of meat paste. All of them died miserably, and a large amount of fresh blood splattered onto the ground, dyeing it red. Oh my god, Hu Rong and the others are all dead. They were killed by a single palm and turned into minced meat. He is a Buddhist follower and an arhat. How could he be more terrifying than the Azura clan? He is not a monk. He is obviously a demon, even more ferocious than us. This is not good. This bald ass is too strong. Run. We are no match for him at all. Retreat, retreat immediately. We can't fight this bald ass to death. Don't sacrifice yourself for nothing. Seeing all the elites of the White Tiger clan die miserably, many elites of the Sucking Blood clan were instantly scared out of their wits. They were scared out of their wits, showing Xia Ping's terrifying combat power that no one could match. It had become their instinct to bully the weak and fear the strong. In the face of such a strong opponent, if they stayed where they were, they would be waiting for death. All of them wanted to run away. Especially Raj, he was the first to run away using the blood escape spell. What joy is there in life? What bitterness is there in death? Benefactors, can't you see it? Death is not the end. It is just the beginning. Let me give you a new life. See you in the next life. Xia Ping smashed down again, increasing the power of the merciful and compassionate palm to the limit. It covered 1,000 miles and the golden light was dazzling. It was as if an arhat had descended, with a golden body of 3,000 feet. Boom. Raj and the other elites of the Sucking Blood clan let out a shrill scream. They were hit by the golden giant palm before they could run more than 1 mile. The terrifying power exploded around them. Even the terrifying Buddha's light penetrated the void and entered their bodies, corroding the blood energy in the bodies of these dark creatures. The evil aura on their bodies was evolving crazily. In just 1 second, they were turned into ashes under the golden light. Raj regretted it so much that his intestines turned green. He was a noble of the Sucking Blood clan with endless potential. He was destined to become a mighty cultivator in the Thunder Tribulation state. He was unwilling to die here. However, no matter how unwilling he was turned into ashes under the palm and ceased to exist. Even the ground was hit by the giant palm. A 5-finger-deep pit with a diameter of more than 10 miles appeared. Each of the fingers was like a horrifying bottomless chasm. The 1,000-meter-tall mountains that were hit by the palm were flattened and turned into powder as if they were made of tofu. Demon, this bald ass is the real demon. It's over. It's completely over. Why did we provoke such a monk? Why is this bald ass so powerful? And he's only at the golden elixir realm. It doesn't make sense at all. He must have been a mighty cultivator at the returning nature state a long time ago. He just hid his real cultivation and pretended to be weak. Shameless to the extreme. Damn bald ass. Didn't they say that monks don't lie? Why are there lies all over him? What should we do now? Fight or run? Many elites of the Elephant clan could not help but scream when they saw what had happened. They were scared to death and their faces turned pale. The elites of the White Tiger clan and the Sucking Blood clan, who were on par with the elites of the Elephant clan, had been killed with 2 palms. None of them had been able to escape. The scene scared them to death. Especially when they saw the monk, Xia Ping, who had killed so many people but still had a compassionate look on his face. It was as if he was not killing people but helping them to escape. They shuddered and felt that they had met a great demon. They wanted to run away immediately. However, seeing what had happened to the Sucking Blood clan, they did not dare to act recklessly. Wait, I remember now. Monk Wu Wudi. Isn't he the one who killed the young master of the 9-headed bird clan on Dragonwood Planet and is wanted by the 9-headed bird king? Some elites of the Elephant clan shouted. They finally remembered. Combined with what had happened and saw Xia Ping's ferocity, there was no doubt that Wu Wudi was the one who killed the young master of the 9-headed bird clan and was wanted by the 9-headed bird king. Chapter 1611. Brother Wu, we failed to recognize you. We didn't expect to offend you. I apologize to you. I hope this matter will end here. What do you think? An elephant warrior said. He wanted to negotiate with Xia Ping to let them go. We are willing to bury the hatchet with you. As the saying goes, it's better to squash enmity than keep it alive. Brother Wu, you are an enlightened monk. I believe you can forgive our inappropriate behavior this time. That's right. If you are willing to let us go, we will remember your kindness. From now on, you will be a friend of the Elephant clan. One by one, the elephant warriors spoke up. They made empty promises, hoping to get close to Xia Ping and build a good relationship. That way they might be able to avoid conflict. Benefactors, you are too polite. Our companions from the Sucking Blood clan and the White Tiger clan are very lonely in front of Buddha. Is it appropriate for you not to accompany them? Xia Ping said calmly. Accompany my ass. Xiang Tao and the others gritted their teeth. His words sounded nice, but if they accompanied Hu Rong and the others, wouldn't they be accompanying them to die? There was no such company. This damn bald donkey obviously didn't want to let them go. He wanted to kill them all. Wu Wudi, don't go too far. Don't you monks pay particular attention to mercy and salvation? We are willing to surrender and surrender. Are you not willing to forgive us and let us go? Xiang Tao shouted. Buddha is naturally merciful. He is extremely great and broad-minded. He can forgive all the sins that people have committed, whether it is theft or murder. He treats everyone the same, Xiaoping said. Xiaoping said, therefore, as a disciple under the banner of Buddha, my main task is to send you to Buddha and have him forgive you. Send my ass. Hearing this, Xiang Tao cursed and showed his true colors. Damn bald donkey, don't be so shameless. Don't think that we elephant warriors are afraid of you. If we really fight, we don't know who will win. He was furious. This bastard still wanted to send them to see Buddha. Wasn't it obvious that he still wanted to kill them? After all, how could they see Buddha if they didn't die? Damn bald donkey, if you want to fight, then let's fight. Brothers, let's fight him to the end. I don't believe he has 3 heads and 6 arms. If you want to take our lives, we'll at least knock out a few of your teeth. One by one, the elephant race warriors were infuriated by Xiaoping. They gave up on the idea of negotiating peacefully and instantly attacked Xiaoping, unleashing their supreme killing moves. Rumble, more than a dozen elephant race warriors including Xiang Tao, went all out, fully activating the elephant race bloodline in their bodies, revealing their true forms. Each of them was a giant ancient starry sky elephant. They roared, circulating the terrifying power in their bodies, forming an ancient elephant great formation that crushed down towards Xiaoping. Xiaoping was neither happy nor sad. The blood and magical power in his body boiled as he circulated the divine elephant breathing technique. It seemed like the power in his body was increasing madly with every passing second, and the shadow of a divine elephant appeared behind him. This divine elephant phantom was extremely terrifying. Compared to the divine elephant, these ancient starry sky elephants were like a grain of light in front of the divine elephant. The gap was almost immeasurable. Dong. It was just a single fist, but it was like a torrential flood or like a meteor smashing into the ground. It instantly tore apart the ancient mammoth formation, causing everything to collapse. Vital energy collapsed, mountains and rivers shattered. Bang bang bang. Xiaoping's body flickered, and a series of phantom images appeared in midair. He was extremely fast and his fist technique was divine. The sky was filled with fist imprints that condensed into a physical form, shaking the world. After a few breaths, more than a dozen elephant race warriors including Xiang Tao, let out miserable screams. Their bodies were hit by the fist imprints and their bodies exploded into pieces. At this point, Xiang Tao and the other elephant race elites were all dead. Not a single one was left alive. In the distance, the people from the various races who were alarmed by the fluctuations of the battle also saw this scene, but their strength was low, so they didn't dare to approach the battlefield. They could only watch from afar. This is too terrifying. Is this the Wu Wuti wanted by the 9-headed bird king? He's so strong that it makes people's hair stand on end. Xiang Tao, Hu Rong Raj, all of them were geniuses of the major races. They were powerful and they had condensed their nascent divinities. They also had more than a dozen elite warriors with them, but they were all killed by Wu Wuti. He's incomparably ferocious. Quick retreat. We can't stay here any longer. If we're discovered by Wu Wuti, we might not be able to escape death. He's an unparalleled demon. Looks like the 9-headed bird clan's bounty isn't that easy to take. But since Wu Wuti has appeared in the Dragonwood secret realm, he'll definitely fight the 9-headed bird clan. When that happens, there'll be a good show to watch. It'll be an earth-shattering battle. There won't be a battle. It'll be a one-sided slaughter. After all, the 9-headed bird king and many elders have appeared. This force is extremely powerful. Who can fight them? What happened today will definitely shock the Dragonwood secret realm. I'm afraid that from now on, not only will the 9-headed bird clan want him, but even the White Tiger clan, the Sucking Blood clan, and the Elephant clan will see him as their enemy. He'll be the enemy of the entire world. I wonder how long this brat can live. Many people were discussing it. They were shocked by what had just happened. Some of the spies from the major forces acted quickly, spreading the news of what had just happened. These treasures belong to me now. At that moment, Xiaoping did not care about the spies. He grabbed the space rings left behind by the elites of the Elephant clan, the Sucking Blood clan, and the White Tiger clan. They were all disciples of the major clans in the Western universe. They were extremely wealthy, far more than ordinary people. Could be said that he had gotten a great deal this time. He had found 33 superior-grade spiritual weapons, as well as many spiritual medicines, pills, and more from this group of people alone. Just these rewards alone were enough to make countless people drool. If it were not for the fact that the people around him were worried about Xiaoping's strength, they would have rushed up and killed him for his treasures. Oh right, there's also the solar cauldron. This peerless spiritual weapon belongs to me now. Xiaoping reached out and grabbed the solar cauldron. Then he channeled all his powers into the formation of the peerless spiritual weapon and refined it quickly. Then the solar cauldron let out a furious roar. Like a giant dragon that had been restrained, it struggled with all its might, trying to burst out with the terrifying flames of the sun to burn the world. However, Xiaoping activated the pure yang immortal spell and a mysterious aura surged out of his body. He suppressed the weapon spirit of the solar cauldron and refined it completely. After a while, the solar cauldron shrunk to the size of a palm. This way, the peerless spiritual weapon, the solar cauldron, had completely become his treasure. He had engraved his soul mark on it. Nobody could take it away from him unless he died. Chapter 16:12. How can this bad guy be so strong? He's only at the Golden Core realm. When Tu Linglong saw this scene from afar, she was stunned by Xiaoping's battle achievements. Even if he possesses the bloodline of a divine beast, he wouldn't be able to achieve such a feat, right? Not only is he invincible among his peers, but he can also challenge those at a higher level. This is too exaggerated. She thought she had obtained the inheritance of the Demon Saint Temple. While she might not be able to surpass everything, she would at least not lose to any genius. She had never expected to encounter such a monstrous human like Xiaoping. It's indeed ridiculous. Qing Yuan was speechless as well. The aptitude of ordinary living beings could be described as genius, monster, unparalleled genius, rare in 100 years, once in 10,000 years and so on. There would always be adjectives to describe it, but she couldn't find any to describe Xiaoping's performance. There was only one kind of creature in the world that couldn't be described with words, and that was the omnipotent and omniscient existence. While Xiaoping hadn't reached such a level yet, his performance right now showed signs of being a god. Damn it, when can I get my revenge? Is there no hope for me in this lifetime? Tu Linglong gnashed her teeth in anger. The better Xiaoping's performance was, the slimmer her chances of getting revenge would be. Was she going to be controlled by this hateful human for the rest of her life? Was she going to never be able to make a comeback? At that moment, Xiaoping took all the treasures from Xiang Tao and the others and refined the Sun True Bronze Cauldron. His figure flashed and he appeared beside Qing Yuan and Tu Linglong. We can go now, Xiaoping said. Alright, let's go. Qing Yuan nodded. They were originally going to the north to find the dragonwood source, but they were delayed by the incident with the Sun True Bronze Cauldron. Now that the matter was resolved, they naturally had to move on. Soon the three of them left and headed north. But when Xiaoping and the others left, the surrounding clans quickly spread the news so that all living beings in the Dragonwood secret realm knew about it. The appearance of Wu Wudi, the wanted criminal of the Nine-Headed Bird clan, and the case he had created was a huge commotion that would definitely affect the situation in the Dragonwood secret realm. After all, Hu Rong and the others were the young geniuses of the White Tiger clan, the Sucking Blood clan, and the Elephant clan. The elders of the three clans would definitely not let them off easily. What did you say? The elites led by Hu Rong, Raj, and Xiang Tao were actually killed. What kind of joke is this? Could it be that some old monster has made a move? No, even an old monster wouldn't dare to do that. Wouldn't that be offending all three races at the same time? Even if they had 9 lives, it wouldn't be enough. The one who killed them was Wu Wudi, the most wanted criminal of the Nine-Headed Bird clan. What? Wu Wudi, the Luohan itinerant cultivator who was wanted on Dragonwood Star. How dare he? Even when he was wanted by the Nine-Headed Bird tribe, he didn't know his place. Now he's stirring up trouble again. Does he think his life is too long? Don't underestimate this Wu Wudi. To be able to kill Hu Rong and the others, his strength is not to be underestimated. At least in the returning nature realm, he can be said to be invincible. I reckon he has already condensed his primordial spirit. That's right. Previously, the Nine-Headed Bird tribe sealed off Dragonwood Star, mobilized the masses and searched every inch of the planet, but they couldn't find any trace of this Wu Wudi. His concealment ability must be top-notch. Even the mighty ones can't catch him. Now there's going to be a good show. Hu Rong and the others were killed. I'm sure the White Tiger clan, Elephant clan, and Sucking Blood clan won't let it go so easily. They'll definitely send their elders to hunt that kid down. I wonder how long he can live. I'm really looking forward to it. At that moment, in the Dragonwood secret realm, everyone was talking about it. They had also learned from various channels that Hu Rong and the others had been killed by Xiaoping. The news spread like a hurricane to everyone's ears, causing a huge commotion. Especially when the elders of the White Tiger clan heard the news. They immediately flew into a rage. That damn bald donkey. How dare he kill the White Tiger clan's heaven's pride? He must be tired of living. Kill him. We must kill that bald donkey. The White Tiger clan's pride can't die for no reason. Send out scouts to search the Dragonwood secret realm. Find any trace of him. Kill him on the spot. The White Tiger clan's dignity cannot be tarnished. This kid must die. One by one the elders of the White Tiger clan roared. Terrifying killing intent emanated from their bodies, spreading over a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers. Any living being that came close would be scared out of their wits. Even those with weaker strength would be pierced through by thousands of swords. They wouldn't be able to withstand it at all. Secondly, the elders of the Elephant clan also knew about the matter. Although they weren't as short-tempered as the White Tiger clan, it still thoroughly ignited the anger in their hearts. Bald donkey Wu Wuti killed the Elephant clan's pride. He's the Elephant clan's sworn enemy. Ah, what a beast. Our Elephant clan is small in numbers. Even if one of us dies, it's a heavy blow. And now he even killed more than 10 of us at once. This hatred is absolutely irreconcilable. Xiang Tao was my nephew. He was killed. Although he wasn't skilled enough, the murderer still has to die. Whoever dares to stop the Elephant clan from taking revenge must die. Their entire clan will be executed. The elders of the Elephant clan were all furious. For the Elephant clan, which was small in numbers, the death of even one was a big deal. After all, their reproductive abilities were low, and they only had one child every few years. One could imagine how vicious the death of more than 10 Elephant clans' pride was. It was enough for them to use the entire clan's power to take revenge. They would kill the enemy to scare the monkey. They acted immediately, coming from another direction of the Dragonwood secret realm to chase after Wu Wuti. The elders of the Sucking Blood clan naturally knew about the matter as well. However, they were creatures of darkness. They were indifferent and heartless, so they weren't as angry as the White Tiger clan and the Elephant clan. But they also wanted to kill Xia Ping. He actually killed Raj and the other idiots. Looks like this Luohan bald donkey has some skills. I don't know how much energy this bald donkey's blood contains. Maybe he has the blood of the golden body Luohan, which can enhance my power. Hunting the strong, rising through killing and death. This is the way of evolution of the Sucking Blood clan. If I can kill Wu Wuti, I think it will be of great benefit to me. Although Raj and the others are idiots, not everyone can kill them. Follow Wu Wuti and find his whereabouts. His life belongs to the Sucking Blood clan. The eyes of the elders of the Sucking Blood clan shone with a bone-chilling light. Their bodies were filled with terrifying blood-red killing intent, which condensed into a solid substance. Countless ghosts appeared around them. They were all creatures who had died in vain, and they were haunted by resentment. Chapter 1613. The Nine-Headed Bird clan had undoubtedly received the news as well. That's great. That Wu Wuti the thief has finally appeared. A nine-headed bird elder said excitedly. Has he finally appeared? I thought he would have been scared out of his wits by the Nine-Headed Bird clan and wouldn't dare to show up again. That brat didn't just appear. He did something big as soon as he appeared. He killed the young geniuses of the Sucking Blood clan, the White Tiger clan, and the Elephant clan. He's so cruel. Fuck. He's not satisfied with killing our young master. He's still causing trouble everywhere regardless of the consequences. Is he really afraid that he'll die? He's indeed an evil man. He's the incarnation of a demon. Everyone has the right to kill him. But it's good that he's in the Dragonwood secret realm now. At least we won't have to worry about him running away. Then we won't be able to take revenge even if we want to. The nine-headed bird elders were extremely excited when they heard the news. They felt that they had finally found a chance to take revenge. Once they found Wu Wuti, the Nine-Headed Bird clan would let that bald donkey know what terror was and what fear was. Track Wu Wuti immediately. Find his whereabouts, kill him, and destroy his soul. The Nine-Headed Bird King gritted his teeth and roared. He didn't want to stay here for even a second longer. He wanted to find Wu Wuti immediately and tear his son's murderer into pieces. A few days later, Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and Green Luan headed north. They had traveled tens of thousands of miles. How much longer until we arrive? Xia Ping asked. We might reach our destination in one day. My premonition is getting stronger, Green Luan said in a low voice. The closer they got to their destination, the stronger her premonition became. But before we reach our destination, we have to get rid of the rats around us. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He spread out his divine sense and sensed a radius of hundreds of thousands of kilometers. In the mountains, valleys, and rivers, there were many enemies lying in ambush. They didn't move, looking into the distance as if they were waiting for an opportunity to launch a sneak attack. These enemies were probably from the major races of the Western cosmos. They were probably here for the bounty. He had caused a huge commotion and attracted the attention of countless enemies. I wonder who attracted so many bees and butterflies, bringing disaster to the country and bringing disaster to the people. It's really troublesome to attract so many enemies. Xiaoping glanced at Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. What are you looking at? Damned bald donkey, don't you have any idea who caused this? Seeing the look in Xiaoping's eyes, Tu Linglong immediately flew into a rage. This bastard was really the one who complained first. He was obviously the one who had done a good deed, yet he still wanted to shift the blame onto them. He was simply shameless to the extreme. This guy was the kind of bastard who impregnated a woman and wanted to be irresponsible. Qing Wan clenched her teeth and wanted to bite this shameless man to death. She hated him so much that her teeth were itching. Come out, don't hide around. With so many people lying in ambush, what are you afraid of? Are you all scoundrels? You don't even dare to fight me head-on? Xiaoping stood out and shouted loudly. His voice traveled tens of thousands of miles and reverberated back and forth. The enemies lying in ambush in the surroundings could hear it clearly. Haha, as expected of the murderer who killed the nine-headed bird's young master. You are indeed audacious. You didn't run even after seeing so many of us. Your courage is commendable. As soon as he finished speaking, dozens of figures flew out from the depths of a mountain. These were all elites of the peacock race. They had bodies of beautiful feathers that were multicolored and gorgeous. Their bodies released a tyrannical aura. They were extremely rampant and had arrogant natures. That was why they were immediately angered by Xiaoping and were the first to jump out. Haha, peacock race, don't even think about taking the initiative. Our fire bear race has taken a fancy to this nine-headed bird-wanted criminal. We want his head. In the distance, dozens of fire bear race jumped out from the mountains. Each of them was dozens of meters tall and as lofty as a mountain. Their auras were vigorous, as if they were afraid that the peacock race would take the lead. If that happened, they wouldn't even have any leftovers to drink. These elites of the fire bear race had scarlet fur that was like flames. Their bodies were glowing. Peacock race, fire bear race, you want to be the first to get his head? Have you asked the zebra race? Get lost, all of you. This is a wanted criminal of the nine-headed bird race, the white tiger race, the elephant race, and the sucking blood race. We will reward him handsomely. His head belongs to the water tiger race. No one can take it from us. With the antelope race here, who dares to be presumptuous? Do you all want to die? At that moment, the elites of the races hiding in the surroundings all jumped out and scrambled to be the first. They were afraid that Xiaoping's head would be taken away by others if they were one step too late. They also thought that they would win. After all, there were only 3 people on Xiaoping's side, while they had at least 1,000 people. As the saying went, there was strength in numbers. No matter how powerful that guy was, he could not be a match for them. Therefore, all of them regarded Xiaoping's head as their own. They planned to kill Xiaoping and take the head to the nine-headed bird race for the reward. It was a great fortune and everyone was envious of it. Holy shit, how come there are so many of them? Tu Linglong was dumbfounded. She had thought that the other side had at most a dozen enemies hidden. She did not expect that at least 1,000 of them would appear with just a roar from this bastard human. This was too much. Even if it was a group fight, it should not be like this. She felt weak and wanted to run away immediately. Even though she was a space-time rabbit, she could not stand being beaten up by so many enemies. Qing Wan looked serious as she thought about the escape route. Very good. Are they all out? Then let's kill them all together. Xiaoping nodded to show that he was very satisfied. Within the range of his divine senses, although there were still some enemies hiding in the dark who had not come out, they were just 2 or 3 small kittens. They could not affect the overall situation. He believed that after all the enemies were killed, there would not be many people who would dare to follow him on the rest of the journey. Kill them all together? This bald donkey has lost his mind. His name is Wu Wudi and he really thinks that he is invincible. Who does he think he is? We are not trash like the nine-headed bird and the others. That's right. I guess he has become arrogant after defeating the nine-headed bird and the others. Go and wake him up. Let him know that the Western cosmos is huge, and it is definitely not a place that this bald donkey can run amok. Stupid bald donkey, the Western cosmos is very big and there are countless experts, do you know? Don't be arrogant here. Hearing this, the people of the peacock race were infuriated, and they sneered again and again. They could not help but feel a burst of anger in their hearts. This human wanted to kill all the elites of their race. What a joke. Chapter 16:14. Are you done? If you are, it's my turn now. After hearing the words of the Vermilion Bird tribe, Xia Ping was expressionless. He attacked immediately. Martial art, mystic art, 7 Malice Dragon Roar. In the blink of an eye, Xia Ping roared. Sound wave runes gushed out from the depths of his throat. These runes contained true dragons that exuded a tyrannical power. With his body as the center, a terrifying sound wave immediately burst out, stacking on top of each other like ocean waves. Thousands of layers stacked on top of each other, creating millions of vibrations in the air. It was even to the extent that this roar absorbed the boundless black baleful aura of heaven and earth. It spread out in all directions, shocking everyone. It specialized in breaking through one's protective astral energy, and was unstoppable. Even the ground was corroded by the baleful aura, turning into black soil. Shit, retreat. The elites of the races paled in fear. They could feel the terror of this martial art, mystic art. When the sound wave roared out, they felt the suppression of their bloodlines. It was as if they had met a high-level creature. It was as if a true dragon had descended and contained the might of a dragon. Facing such a dragon's might, they could only use 70% of their strength. Their legs trembled and they tried to escape. But how could their speed compare to the speed of the sound wave? Before they could escape, they were bombarded in an instant. The surrounding air vibrated millions of times. Ah! One by one, the enemies cried out in pain. Their internal organs were severely injured and they couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Their ears were almost deafened. The ground was destroyed by the sound wave and was even flattened by 5 to 6 meters. Even the enemies who were hiding in the dark were attacked by the sound wave. This was an attack that didn't discriminate. Anyone within the range would be attacked. In the end, thousands of enemies were heavily injured and fell to the ground, spitting out blood. Damn bald donkey, let's kill him. Let's work together and set up a formation to kill him. Everyone, don't be afraid. Such a powerful mystic art must consume a lot of energy. You won't be able to use it a second time. Let's fight to the death. But even so, the peacock tribe didn't give up and wanted to fight back to kill Xia Ping. Not only did this not make them lose their will to fight, but it also made them furious. Stubborn. Don't blame me if that's the case. Xia Ping formed a seal with both of his hands and channeled the dense magical energy in his body to activate the heaven and earth formation. True illusion disintegration. In an instant, an illusory formation that was set up in the surroundings appeared, covering a radius of 30,000 li. Formation runes appeared one after another, as though they were imprints of the Tao. The moment this great formation rose, a large amount of white mist appeared in a radius of 30,000 miles. Covering the entire area. This white mist had the power to confuse divine sense, making it impossible to penetrate more than a meter. All of a sudden, the peacock tribe and the others became headless flies. They didn't even know where they were, let alone where their companions were. Just a single formation was enough to separate the enemies and attack them separately. They no longer had the advantage of numbers. When did you set up a formation here? Tu Linglong and Qing Wan were stupefied. They didn't expect Xia Ping to still have this kind of trump card. They could see how formidable this great formation was. It was complicated to the extreme and contained the power to interfere with divine senses. If they were to stay in this formation, they would be blind and wander around aimlessly like a headless fly. Do you think that I've been doing nothing for the past few days? I've already set up a trap and waited for these enemies to walk right into it so that I can capture them all in one fell swoop. Xia Ping chuckled and looked at Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. How would he dare to go up to Liangshan if he wasn't careful? Tui, treacherous scum. Tu Linglong said in disdain. She didn't want to exaggerate this human at all. Alright, enough with the nonsense. Later on, the two of you will enter the formation as well. Knock out all these enemies and tie them up. I'm going to capture them alive. Don't worry, with the protection of the formation, it'll be a piece of cake for you guys to knock them out. He said to Tu Linglong and Qing Wan. Sneak attack from behind? That's my favorite thing to do. Tu Linglong was very excited and immediately got into action. Qing Wan nodded her head and entered the formation as well. They were already on the same boat as Xia Ping. It was naturally their duty to defeat these enemies. An hour later, the peacock race and the thousands of enemies were all captured. Their transcendence energy was sealed by Xia Ping and they were tied up like dumplings, unable to move. They also looked very miserable. Some of them were beaten black and blue and couldn't even recognize their relatives. Some of them had a huge bump on the back of their heads which was caused by the sneak attack. Some of them resisted so fiercely that their legs were broken and they were howling in pain. Shameless bald donkey, you actually used the formation. Do you have no shame? That's right. Let go of me if you have the guts. Let's fight to the death. What a despicable bald donkey. How long did you prepare to plot against us in secret? I'm not convinced. Even if you capture us, we won't be convinced. You better let us go immediately. We're all prodigies of the various races in the Western universe. If you dare to kill us, you'll definitely become the public enemy of all the races in the Western universe. No matter how big the universe is, there'll be no place for you. All of them started shouting. They were extremely unwilling to accept their fate. Some even tried to threaten Xia Ping into letting them go. Hee, a bunch of trash. It's not despicable for you to bully me with numbers. Tu Linglong sneered and looked down on this group of demons from the Western universe. They had to admit their mistakes and stand upright when they were beaten. Was there any meaning in being unrepentant? She looked down on this kind of people the most. It doesn't matter if you're not convinced. You're already prisoners. If you don't want to die, behave yourself. I'm afraid even your fathers won't be able to save you. If you continue to talk nonsense, I'll cripple your lives and make you eunuchs. The Green Luan said indifferently. Fuck this vicious woman. The faces of the peacock race and the others turned green. They didn't dare to clamor anymore and felt their abdomens tighten. Indeed, a woman's heart was the most vicious. She was like a wasp stinger. She aimed for their vitals without holding back. Don't worry, I'm a good person. I'm a monk. I don't kill so you won't die. At this time, Xia Ping jumped out and played the good cop. He had a benevolent expression like an enlightened monk. He was just short of releasing light from his head to save all living beings. Anyone would think that he was benevolent and accomplished. Bullshit damn bald donkey. However, the peacock race and the others gritted their teeth and didn't appreciate it at all. To be honest, even if they believed that pigs could climb trees, they wouldn't believe this bald donkey's words. This guy said that he didn't kill. How did the nine-headed bird race's young master Duanmu Kong, the white tiger race's prodigy Hu Rong, the sucking blood race's prodigy Raj, and the elephant race's prodigy Xiang Tao die? Did they commit suicide? Chapter 16:15. Master Wu, since you don't want to kill us, why don't you let us go? Leave us some leeway so that we can meet again in the future. A member of the Peacock clan shouted. He wanted to take the opportunity to ask Xia Ping to release him. In order to avoid hostility, he even addressed Xia Ping as Master Wu. That's right. If you let us go, I can swear to the heavens that I will never cause trouble for you in this life. I will avoid you whenever I see you. The Bear clan and the others swore to the heavens, wanting to use a vicious oath to appease Xia Ping. However, to them, making an oath was as easy as drinking water. Once they escaped, they would immediately turn hostile. Of course, they would definitely not make a move in order to abide by the agreement. However, who said that they couldn't ask for help? They immediately asked the elders of their clan to cut this damned bald donkey into pieces to take revenge. Why are you in such a hurry? Xia Ping waved his hand. Although this poor monk is magnanimous and has forgiven you a long time ago, the death penalty can be spared, but you can't escape punishment, understand? What do you want? The elites of the Peacock clan immediately felt that something was wrong. According to this bastard's methods, how could they get away with it so easily? Do you know why I'm so strong? How can I fight so many of you alone? Xia Ping first asked a question. What? Is it because of treasures, cultivation techniques, comprehension, talent, or something else? The elites of the Peacock clan were also curious. Although they were unwilling, they had to admit that Xia Ping's strength was terrifying. One had to know that most of them were cultivators at the returning nature realm. Facing a puny golden core realm, it should be easy. Who would have thought that this monk would be so powerful? He was not human at all. To be honest, they were also curious about how Wu Wudi became so strong. If they could know a thing or two, it might be of great benefit. All of them pricked up their ears, wanting to hear what Xia Ping had to say. No, these are not the main reasons. The reason why I'm so strong is because I'm bald. Xia Ping said seriously. Bald? The elites of the Peacock clan were dumbfounded. They looked at Xia Ping and didn't know what to say. What kind of bullshit reason was that? Did he think they were 3-year-old children that could be easily deceived? This penniless monk will tell you a truth of the world. Only by becoming bald can you become stronger. This is an eternal truth of the universe. If you don't become bald, you won't be able to become stronger. Xia Ping looked up to the sky and sighed, "The reason why you are so weak is because of the hair on your body. Each hair represents a strand of trouble. The Buddha says that there are 3,000 strands of trouble, and each strand is better than the last." With so much hair and so many worries on his body, it was as if he was carrying a huge mountain on his back. Walking was difficult and tiring at every turn. How could he cultivate to become strong like this? If you can shave off all the hair on your body, it means that you have gotten rid of the 3,000 strands of worry. You will throw away all the worries in your mind, and your mind will be in an ethereal state. This way, no matter what you do, you will get twice the result with half the effort. He had a holy expression on his face like an enlightened monk. Bullshit. One of the Fire Bear tribe warriors cursed, "Who doesn't know that you Luohan people are born bald? But there aren't many who are as strong as you. You're just making things up. Who would believe your nonsense?" After all, he was a handsome fire bear. His red hair was the kind that glowed. With his beautiful hair, he had seduced countless young ladies from the Fire Bear tribe. If he was bald and didn't have his hair, could he still pick up girls in the future? Would he still be a handsome bear? Which female bear would take a fancy to a bear without hair? Amitabha. Benefactor, you are too obsessed. Your body is just a bag of skin. After you die, you will only be a pile of bones. Xia Ping said, "Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva once made a great vow. If hell is not empty, I will not become a Buddha." This poor monk is unbeatable in martial arts and also made a great vow. If the world is bald, I will not become a Buddha. If everyone is bald, people will not judge people by their appearance. Only then will they reveal their original appearance. Only then will they be able to meet each other sincerely and understand each other. The world of baldies is a world of true love and peace. He spoke passionately, describing his ambitions. Scram without stopping. I will not go bald even if I die. Shameless bald donkey, don't show off here. If you want to go bald, just go bald yourself. Why do you have to force others against their will? The people from the peacock race spat at Xia Ping. They had never seen such a shameless bald donkey. It was fine if he went bald, but he wanted all living beings in the universe to go bald with him. He was simply perverted, the kind that wanted to take revenge on society. It seems like all of you haven't gained enlightenment. Forget it, this poor monk already knew this. I will help you this once. After all, if I don't go to hell, who will? Xia Ping's eyes revealed a savage glint. Stop, bald donkey, stop right now. I am a warrior from the Fire Bear race. Is it right to not have hair? Who doesn't know that my Fire Bear race is rough because we have too much hair? Devil, this bald donkey is a devil. Does he know that I am from the peacock race? Is a peacock still a peacock without feathers? He is just a featherless bird. Damn bald donkey, I will fight it out with you. Save me. Is there anyone who can stop this devil? My antelope race cannot be plucked. Is a featherless antelope still an antelope? This is too much. Killing is just a matter of nodding one's head. Wu Wudi, my water tiger race is absolutely irreconcilable with you. God damn it, my tail was chopped off by this bastard just because there was a bit of hair on my tail. He is inhumane. The elites of the Western cosmos cried out in pain. Their faces turned green. They were all tough men. Even if they were tortured, they wouldn't frown or shed a single tear. But after having all their hair shaved off, they cried out in pain. They felt like they were better off dead than alive. It was as if they had been defiled. Their chastity was gone. There was nothing more sorrowful than a dead heart. When Qing Wan and Tu Linglong saw this scene, they felt that Xia Ping was too cruel. Those who saw it would feel sad and those who heard it would cry. Looking at the peacock race warriors, they were originally covered in colorful feathers. They were extremely resplendent and were known as the nobility of birds. Even from 10 miles away, one could feel their nobility. They were high and mighty, beautiful and moving. But now all their feathers were gone. They were like vultures, incomparably miserable. Looking at the Fire Bear race warriors, they were originally covered in scarlet fur that burned like flames. They were as dazzling as fireworks. They were majestic and mighty, and their auras were terrifying. But now all their feathers were gone. They were all curled up and didn't have the face to see anyone. They were even worse than black bears. They were like mangy bears. The antelope race warriors were the most miserable. Their selling point was their smooth and clean white fur. They were like lotus flowers on a snowy mountain, high and mighty, incomparably pure and holy. With a casual step their fur would fly up. It was as if they had been washed, smooth and soft. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.